your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. An investigation is underway into the ramming of a vehicle into the Temple Israel Synagogue in suburban Detroit. The driver, who had a weapon, is dead. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard.
He breached the building, drove down the hall, and he was engaged by security.
CBS's Nicole Scanga reports.
After that shootout, there was an explosion coming from the vehicle, and FBI, in addition to ATF, are right now still sorting through, trying to identify if there were any explosive devices, improvised explosives, IEDs in that vehicle.
CBS News has learned that the suspect's body is badly burned, making identification difficult. Temple Israel Synagogue in West Bloomfield Township is one of the largest in the country. The FBI says the suspect who killed one person and injured two others at Old Dominion University today has been identified by authorities as Mohammed Baylor Jallo, who pleaded guilty in 2016 to attempting to provide material support to the Islamic State. Dominique Evans, special agent in charge of the Norfolk FBI field office, says when bullets were fired, in the school's business building this morning, some ROTC members sprang to action.
There were students that were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive.
Old Dominion University will be closed tomorrow at all locations. Just in, the U.S. military says a refueling aircraft went down in Iraq, and rescue efforts are underway. A second aircraft landed safely. President Trump is praising the American military amid the U.S.-led war against Iran. CBS's Linda Kenyon has the latest.
The situation with Iran is moving along very rapidly.
President Trump speaking at a Women's History Month event at the White House took a moment to acknowledge American military might.
Our military is unsurpassed. There's never been anything like it.
And the president added Iran had to be stopped from developing a nuclear weapon.
They really are a nation of terror and hate, and they're paying a big price right now.
Trump did not address higher oil prices following the start of the war, although previously called that a short-term excursion. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker today visited Aroma Park in Kankakee County, where severe weather has damaged and destroyed homes, buildings, and vehicles. Pritzker received a briefing from local officials and assessed the damage in the county and says,
just looking around, this looks like a circumstance where federal resources will be triggered and should come to this community.
In northwest Indiana, at least 2 people were killed and homes and structures severely damaged in storms on Tuesday. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount.
We'll hear from Puget Sound Energy with the latest numbers of power outages from last night's storm. More on that straight ahead. But first, here's Lori at the traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Seattle to Everett now almost 50 minutes. Bellevue to Bothell just a 16-minute drive on 405 northbound. Northbound I-5 at the T-Dome, we have an accident. That's in the HOV lane. Now Tacoma to Federal Way, you've got about a 2-minute slowdown. 167 pretty solid from Auburn into Sumner. If you're heading over the mountain passes, traction tires advised on I-90 and chains required on US 2. Download the Seattle Sports app and stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. Utility crews continue working to bring back power to customers this afternoon. Andrew Padula is with Puget Sound Energy.
Numerous tree limbs into our lines. There are some locations where we have had damage to substations and areas where poles have been taken out completely, which means we'll have to replace all of that. I believe that we had about 65,000 outages kind of at the peak of this storm.
That number is now down to just over 13,000, with just below 9,000 here in King County. A former employee at a Tacoma shelter for juveniles and young adults has been arrested and charged with sexually assaulting a 6-month-old girl in 2023. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
25-year-old William Flournoy IV is a trans female who goes by the name of Izzy. She's charged with first-degree rape of a child and sexual exploitation of a minor for allegedly assaulting an infant in her care. Police got a tip from the FBI's Missing and Exploited Children's Task Force. In a separate case, Flournoy is also charged with possession of depictions of children engaged in sexually explicit conduct. Bail is set at $1 million. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Today, the Bellevue Police Department announces its Bellevue Light Rail Unit, also known as BLU. 6 officers and a sergeant to patrol light rail trains and light rail stations in Bellevue. Here's spokesman Drew Anderson.
Because we know there's going to be a high volume of traffic along the 2 line, we're going to have a high volume of our officers along the 2 line as well to provide that kind of visibility that we know that community members want to see.
Officers will partner with Sound Transit and King County Metro to respond to calls for service. The light rail Cross Lake connection opens to passengers March 28th. Average gas prices in Washington rose another 2 cents overnight. That's 30 cents in a week and almost 70 cents in a month. The average price of a gallon right now is $4.98 in King County, according to AAA. The national average is $3.50. And now your weather update. Scattered rain this afternoon, heaviest at the convergence zone near Everett. Heavy snow continues in the mountains, mid-40s for our afternoon high. And it's cold at night, dropping to 35 here in the Seattle area. And that might bring a rain-snow mix to start off Friday morning. Cloudy and 46 in Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Let's hear this. Hello.
Yes, hello.
This is Rusty Shackelford.
Yes.
And I enjoy the show mostly because of John, Joe, Jacob Heimerschmidt, Andrew, Aaron, Nate,
wow,
Lori.
Lori got in there.
Yeah, all the people. That's why I enjoy the show.
Okay.
So keep it up.
All right.
And thank you very much.
All right. That's all we
By
need.
Rusty Shackelford.
Mr. Rusty Shackelford. Are we going to look that name up? Is that get some double entendre in there? Look up,
I thought about that, but
some
I couldn't
weird,
figure it
probably
out.
some weird historical reference. Look up Rusty Shackelford. Well, we wait on that. It's a nice way to start. Everybody gets a shout out. We get going now.
Okay. Character on King of the Hill.
Okay, there we go. All right, Joe says this is all the news. I'm like,
hold please. Andrew, did you want to address something with John real quick?
I was not going to do this on the air, no.
Well, you might as well.
All right. Remember, John?
Yes, I get paid more than you. All right?
That is true.
It's not about that.
You're taking hand
I'm sorry.
sanitizer.
You know, occasionally you need to go number 2 in the bathroom before you come. Is it that?
No, it's not that.
Okay.
It's about taking hand sanitizer.
All right, you looked at my website. There was stuff that was up that might have been inappropriate that you happened to. Was it that?
No, it wasn't that.
All right, okay.
Was
it me bringing my dog in?
No.
And urinating on your desk chair? Oops,
I know,
sorry. I should have told you that one. Okay. What is it?
It's the hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
You're putting it in your hand.
Yes.
And you're wiping it on your mic sock.
Yes.
I need you to not do that, please.
Oh.
Because in the past you did that when we had a little circular disc one. And what that did is it made it sound like you were talking. You made it. No, well, not that, but it made it sound like you were talking into a can the entire time.
Okay, so do we have a clean one of these things? Because when I put my hand on it, I can feel Spike's lunch on this thing.
I'm sure that we have some lying around that you can use.
Will you take care of yours if we give you your own?
I'd like one.
Yeah?
This one's got all. This one's good.
That one's good. And
This one's smooth.
We'll get you your own, but you have to take care of it.
I will take care of it.
Don't put hand sanitizer in it.
I won't if I don't have to. I don't want to be. It's like this is like breathing into somebody's underwear.
Well, the one I have is everybody uses. I just don't touch it.
Okay, we should not be doing this.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know why Joe roped us into this.
This is not news. This is news. Mr. Schenkelforder is going to be upset with us.
Shackelford.
Here we go. This is news. I saw that some guy. Who's the guy that's running for office? And he wants. He's something or other. What's the guy's name? He's got all sorts of plans to reduce the cost of. What's his name?
Ron Davis.
Ron Davis running for office, and he's got all sorts of plans when it comes to child care. I thought, let me see if Ron Davis has any good ideas about child care. Child care is a big deal. Big deal. So. All right, let's see. Remember, for the longest time, government's been telling us, begging us to be more physically active. How has that worked out for us? Plus, the effects of Ozempic, GLP-1, how it's transforming everything, including, unfortunately, for my friends that are in the wine business. Oh, my God. Oy, 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 oy.
Wow, that's a tease.
Thank you, Teeny. I just keep saying, till Teeny said something. I mean, old lady. The oyster contest, they thought they were so clever, there's no way anybody could possibly win this thing. But then, two old folks came shuffling in.
Yes, they did.
And the rest is history. What's happening in Iran? Iran. Thank you. And was there possibly an attack or might be attack in California? There's somebody, Here's what's happened. Joe has become such a conspiracy theory guy that he's like, yeah, so somebody apparently stole a couple of drones in California, and there's going to be an attack, a drone attack. He's doing that weird thing in his head. And I'm like, what do you mean, apparently? They say that they got stolen. I mean, now everything is like through the crazy conspiracy theory guy filter?
Well, no, there's just a couple people who can, whatever they say, I'm not going to believe it.
That's
the only thing missing from that. The only thing missing from that Joe impersonation is all the swearing. Every single sentence has got at least two.
No, it's not. No.
Andrew?
Oil prices, Dubai. Okay, let me get back to my other stuff. Hang on. Let's see. Yeah, Trump going after Thomas Massey. He's like the guy we really like, but he's just blasting away at Massey because he doesn't like the fact that Massey's coming after him with all the Epstein stuff.
It's not coming after him.
Which then leads back to Joe. Here we go, going down a rabbit hole. Back to the other news. And then a whole bunch of other good stuff.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Joe found this. The Washington Teachers Union coaching members on what to say and to get ready for the big... But they succeeded. They got the income tax that they wanted. So here it comes for everybody. All right. Let's see. Stop this music. I'll have to take it to the end. Anything else you want to say before we get started?
Nope.
Okay. It'd be nice if you said something. Right? I got 18 more seconds here.
Oh, you did your hair. That's
you
nice.
mentioned... Yes.
Good job. Just in time.
A little wild.
You walked in with a hat on, and then all of a sudden your hair's done. Magic.
Look at the back.
Ooh.
Just look at it.
Thank you, Teeny. I was thinking. All right. It's popped up in my feed, as they say, ever since I got on the Instagram, but last year. I'm all aware of this stuff now. Here is a candidate for Washington State House 46th District. This is Ron Davis, and he is concerned about the cost of childcare, and he has a couple of recommendations.
Washington is one of the most expensive places for childcare in the entire country. Yeah. The cost is crushing careers, breaking families, and making it so people who want kids cannot have them. My wife and I had to go into debt just to afford tuition. We don't have to live like this. In Sweden, no one pays more than $100.
Okay, so let me write that down. Sweden. All right, hang on. Sweden?
$130 a month. In France, it's free for...
Okay, France. Free. Okay, Sweden and France.
3-year-olds and up. And they cover 3/4 of the cost for toddlers. New Mexico is expanding to...
Hold on. New Mexico. Okay, so these are the standard bearers of what it should be.
Universal free childcare.
Free. It's free. Is it free? It's free like the school lunches. It's free. Okay, so we got Sweden, we got France, we got New Mexico. New Mexico's free.
They've already lifted over 100,000 people out of poverty.
Yeah.
Washington State is twice as rich as these places. It does not have to be this way. This is why I support affordable childcare for everyone. It should be free for most families and capped at 7%.
There's that word free again. There's a free lunch. And then capped.
% of income for higher earners.
All right.
And we need to give providers a big, fat raise.
Okay. Oh, and then give so it's going to be free, then give childcare providers a big, fat raise. All right. So, maybe some fun game show music here. Let's see if I look these up here. So, Sweden, France, New Mexico. So, those are the standards by which we should be running ours. Okay, let's do that. You ready? Hey there, Andrew. Yes. In Sweden, the folks pay double the tax that the people in Washington pay every year 47% of your income goes to the government, goes to child care in Sweden. 24% goes for your taxes in the state of Washington. France, same story. Ditto, ditto, ditto. 48% of your income goes to pay the government for a whole bunch of services that apparently are free. Free. He. Sweden and France. Now New Mexico. When it comes to New Mexico, it is one of the most affordable states in the country. It's number 17, 18, 19, no matter which one you look at, it's way, way, way more affordable because Washington is 48th. 48th. Least affordable state to live in. Not so sure why it's so rich. There you go. And when it comes to expenses, well, here's what's going to happen. Well, the government has gotten involved because they're going to try to solve the problem, so here's how they're going to do it. Democrats, along with the union, has created a new board, and nothing stinks up anything in the marketplace than the government appointing a new board. Because these people are going to be appointed, unelected, unaccountable, union-approved board members. That it's going to be, well, they're going to take up everything. They're going to fill the marketplace faster than a bunch of babies at a lobster bake. Diaper.
Ooh.
So here's what happens. Your favorite shrinking union, the SEIU, the Washington State Council, need new members. What they've done is they've helped to create this board. This board's going to step in, and they're going to create the standards and the pay that are going to go in place. Now, do you think that is going to reduce the cost of anything? So you're going to get this politically motivated board that's going to be powered by a bunch of people that are appointed into the marketplace of childcare. So regulations will fill up faster than a diaper at a baby taco bar eating contest. So the costs are going to skyrocket. Expenses are going to go up. And then you're going to expect to see less and less choices. So the prices, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. Once the board gets in place, the union starts picking up the regulations, then deciding how many people have to be working there and what the pay is going to be. You should probably see about a 20% increase. That's what's going to happen. If you want to save money, here's fun music again because we're going to come around and say, you can reduce the staffing ratio. Reduce the staffing ratio because Washington has the highest. You can go back to Sweden, France, and New Mexico, because apparently they do everything right because they're European and also from New Mexico. They have a different ratio than we have, and you save money. So, for instance, if you were to change the ratio rather than 1 to 4, then you do 1 to 6, and when it comes to adults to babies, you can save anywhere between 9 and 20%. You could also loosen the education requirement for employees, like they do in Sweden, New Mexico, and France. Not here in the United States, not in Washington, certainly. Oh, you've got to make sure this person gets this degree and that degree and this degree and that degree. Why don't you allow the choices to be made by the parents? Because the parents know better than the board, better than any union member, better than anybody else what's best for their kids. Whenever it comes to housing and education and healthcare and wages and energy, you name it. When the government vows to reduce the cost, they manage to screw things up. And that new board, well, you're going to wish you had diapers on, because when you see what the cost of daycare is, you will S yourself. There you go. So, Mr. Ron Davis, you are more than welcome to come on this show, and you are more than welcome to explain to me how Sweden and France and New Mexico do it so much better than the state of Washington, and then you can make your argument and possibly even get people to vote for you. Because right now, when you use the word free when it comes to anything from the government, I think you might need to check some facts. There you go. And that just came through on my feed. They call that the feed. They call that your Instagram feed.
In your algorithm.
Okay, whatever.
Searching for a babysitter?
No, it just happened to pop up.
Fascinating.
This is fascinating, isn't it?
Oh, you are so tech savvy. It's amazing.
I know. And then I send something. I've also noticed this. I don't know if you other folks in your 60s, mid 60s, like myself, when you see something funny and you send it to your kid on Instagram, they don't look at it. It's weird. And then, like, after you send the 30th thing to them that you think is funny, then they text you back, okay, stop sending this stuff. You're like, I thought you'd like it.
It is a very boomer thing to do, to just send all the links of all the social media stuff. My wife does it too, though. She's not in her 60s, so.
But she's an old soul.
Yeah, exactly.
A little tease on something we're working on. Joe has got me absolutely fascinated with, where is this thing? I think you sent it to me in my feed.
Telepathy tapes?
Telepathy tapes. This is a podcast that's just wild. The telepathy tapes, near-death experiences. So I'm on number 2 right now. And a podcast that explores the origins of consciousness and the unexplained abilities of ESP, science through verifiable experiences, formal testing of human experiences, telepathy, reality, our consciousness when we leave our body. I mean, it is, you listen to this, and you know what's interesting? Well, I listened to another whole hour and a half last night, and I was comforted by it. Mm-hmm. Do you find that too?
100%.
Why is it that you find the comfort in it?
You know, I think it just, because it doesn't matter what your religion is or what your spirituality is. If you believe that there is a connection that exists after we die, and maybe perhaps even before we're born, with the people that we love, and that connection will continue to exist after they've passed, after we've passed, after our pets have passed, there's nothing, I couldn't think of anything more comforting.
I know. And then does it also make you feel like a lot of this other stuff doesn't matter?
It definitely takes away some of that just hyperfixation on, the small things, even if they're big things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you puts everything into kind of a cosmic perspective, and you realize that we're here for a fleeting moment, and before we know it, it's going to be gone, and you kind of it gives more meaning to that passage of time.
Because if you had the two choices, there's sort of a binary choice between, okay, we're on this earth, and then you die, and they put you in the hole, and that's it, and the worms eat you, and that's the end of you. Then you'd be like, well, that sucks. But then you listen to this thing, it's like, yeah, you die, but then all of a sudden you're reunited into this like vast pool of love, and the people that loved you, they were there. Now, I don't know where all the people that didn't like you are. I guess they're somewhere else. But like, apparently you go into this beautiful world where, because they have documented going back more than 4,000 years ago for near-death experiences. And there's this doctor that has studied all this stuff. The colors are more vibrant than anything you've ever seen on Earth. And as soon as they said, oh, and all your past pets are there, I'm like, yes, they're all there, right? All the Freddie the hamster, the parrot, the parakeet, and all the dogs and everybody you love, they're all there. It's like, this is the greatest. I don't know where you're going to be, but like, I'll have my own little area. You can come over and visit.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, don't stay too long, but then it'll turn into hell. But I listened to these tapes, and then I was like, okay, then I don't mind, all this other garbage that's on these 3 pages? 3 pages.
Well.
Oh, my God. You know what I mean? So who are we trying to get on we're trying to get we'd love to get the author of The Light Between Us. We want to get her on.
Yes, we've reached out to her, and her name is...
hold on. Her name is...
Laura Lynn
Jackson. Yeah. Okay. Same time. Jinx, show me a Coke. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori?
Seattle to Everett right now, 50 minutes. Bellevue to Bothell is a 16-minute drive. We still have this collision northbound I-5 at the T-Dome. It's in the HOV lane, backing you up all the way to Federal Way, making your drive Federal Way to Tacoma, or actually Tacoma to Federal Way, a 10-minute slowdown. 167 pretty heavy from Auburn into Sumner, and heading over the mountain passes, we still have traction tires advised on I-90 and chains on US 2. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
You didn't work hard to watch your retirement unravel. You saved, you sacrificed, you built something meaningful for yourself and for your family. Hi, I'm elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. I've seen what happens when unexpected health events collide with traditional retirement plans. Savings that took decades to build drains away faster than anyone expected. At LifePoint Law, we help you build a life plan to help you protect your assets and way of life. If you are retired or thinking about retiring, now is the time to double-check your retirement plan.
Attending a free seminar now can help prevent your entire life savings from being devastated. Some simple planning will ensure you don't run out of money. Seats are filling up and your family's future is too important to delay. Sign up now for the next seminar in Bellevue on the 12th, Federal Way on the 14th, and Everett on March 17th. Learn more at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
March is an exciting time to be in the garden, especially if you'd love to be growing your own delicious fruit or berries. Hi, I'm Gabby, veggie, herb, and strawberry buyer here at Sky Nursery. This month only, we have a wide variety of Northwest-grown bare root strawberry bundles, a great way to save a lot of money on planting your own berry patch. We also have tons of blueberries, raspberries, and kiwi, as well as persimmon, fig, plum trees, and more. Come on into Sky, because there's nothing like the taste of your very first fruit that you grew yourself. Visit skynursery.com.
We've got a surefire way for you to feel lucky this St. Patty's Day. Get a saltwater hot spring spa from Olympic Hot Tub. Take advantage of big savings and get 5 years to pay for it, interest-free. But hurry, this deal ends St. Patrick's Day. OlympicHotTub.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Downtown Seattle is seeing steady momentum. 15 million people visited downtown in 2025, surpassing pre-pandemic levels for the second consecutive year. John Scholes is president and CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association.
I believe never before has it been more important for downtowns to be thriving and vibrant places. But I also believe it's true that downtowns perhaps have never been more optional.
According to the annual State of Downtown Seattle report, nearly 13,000 downtown Seattle jobs were lost, and office vacancy is at 25%. Well, he was on the FBI's most wanted list for just an hour. Then a man wanted for killing 2 women in Federal Way was arrested in Mexico. Federal Way Police Chief Andy Huang.
This tragic incident occurred in May of 2023 at the Stars Bar and Grill. Officers responded to reports of a shooting in the parking lot behind the business.
Samuel Ramirez Jr. was extradited from Mexico and transferred to Federal Way Police custody this morning. The FBI says this was the quickest apprehension of a 10 most wanted fugitive in the list's history. Washington lawmakers made history yesterday by passing the state's first ever income tax. It's a 9.9% tax on income over $1 million a year. Governor Bob Ferguson says he'll sign it. The Washington Observer's Paul Query calls the 24-hour House debate that preceded the vote a pretty impressive piece of endurance.
That was the longest debate that we've ever seen, and I think they actually doubled up the record.
He spoke with Seattle Morning News. Opponents are already planning ballot measures and court challenges to try to kill it. Winter storm means great snow to play in, but the National Weather Service has issued a winter storm warning, saying up to 20 inches of snow combined with wind gusts can make for dangerous travel conditions. KIRO 7 TV spoke with members of Everett Mountain Rescue, which has some advice for snow enthusiasts.
Just being prepared, having extra food, extra water, extra layers in case you get stuck somewhere, and having a communication device to be able to call for help, whether that's your cell phone nowadays with satellite messaging or a dedicated satellite messenger.
The storm warning is in effect through Saturday morning at 5 a.m. And now at 3:32, over to the real-time traffic desk with Lori.
Well, we still have this accident. It is at the T-Dome, northbound I-5. Traffic is brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. It's slowing you down, making about a 10-minute slowdown from Tacoma to Federal Way. We're still really heavy 167 from Auburn into Sumner. Now, if you're heading from Seattle to Everett, just under an hour at 5:00, 50 minutes. And Bellevue to Bothell is a 16-minute drive. Repairs to the 99 First South Bridge will continue through Friday night. And if you're heading over the mountain passes, traction tires advised on I-90, chains on US 2. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're just Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Scattered rain across the region into the evening. Mid-40s will peak out this afternoon. A repeat forecast tomorrow with the possibility of a little rain-snow mix in the early hours. Cloudy and 46 over downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Comfort Alliance. Oh, yeah. If you're Ian Jones and you're out there thinking about comfort and aligning with your home, Home Comfort Alliance. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Come over to my house. It's nice and comfortable. We can heat things up, but then we've got a heat pump to cool things down. Don't get near my heat pump. Stop. Andrew, you are the problem.
What, you want me to play bad music? Bad bumpers?
1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. We met Dennis from Buc-ee's today. He
this
came
would have
by.
been a great Buc-ee's one.
No, this isn't Buc-ee's.
It
This is
could
home
have, but it could have been.
We're not doing that right now.
I decided not
By
to
the way,
save it for
Dennis from Buc-ee's came by, and I told him about the album that we had for sale at Christmas time. He wants to hear it. Plus, Joe was trying to find the great Buc-ee's song that we just did last week. So
Yeah, I got
keep
them
that
all.
in mind. But this is about Home Comfort Alliance. Let's stay focused here.
Right.
Who's had too much coffee? All right. Well, where'd you get this from? Oh, Nature put this article out? I can't believe it.
Yes.
Well, they like to put a lot of garbage out and then retract it like 6 hours later. Government-funded physical fitness campaigns have really not done much.
I welcome this opportunity to speak to the people of America about a subject which I believe to be most important, and that is the subject of physical fitness.
Yep. According to the folks there at Nature that put this study together, the government has failed, begging us to be more physically active, but it produced zero evidence of success.
We're delighted to have you here at the White House today. And this is obviously a good week to talk about physical fitness with Sunday's game coming up. Attention to physical fitness is one of those things that says something about a nation and its people.
This led to our new initiative, Let's Move.
Oh, God.
We have to increase physical education for our kids. We need to get them moving.
All right, here we are in the bowels of the Pentagon for the Pete and Bobby Challenge. It's all about making America healthy again. We're going to be fit, not fat.
It doesn't work. It didn't work. Remember Prohibition? Stop drinking. We're going to take all the alcohol away. People still drank, right? Remember Just Say No to Drugs? Billions of dollars were spent on that. Didn't have any effect. Fat and sugary drinks and then making government, you've got to put all the calories, list all those things, and people behave differently. No, they don't. Seatbelts. When it came to seatbelts, the reason people started wearing them is because it became socially and culturally acceptable because of the people in the car and primarily kids. It was a great study that was done. The kids had a nudging effect upon parents, and they would put the seatbelt on because kid told them to. But still, there's a great portion of the population is like, I'm not doing it. Like my friend, I won't say his name on the air. We get in the car. He's got some fancy out. He's like, beep, 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 beep. I said, hey, put your seatbelt on. He goes, no, I don't do that. And then it stops beeping after a while. I remember my dad unplugged the thing. I don't need the thing bothering me.
Yeah, mine never stops.
You don't wear your seatbelt?
No, the seatbelt alarm never stops.
Oh, I thought, right, everybody. And then when it comes to saving water, don't use as much water, cut back. We got a water problem. People don't do that. They don't. They just, and government trying to, nudge people into behavior, it fails every single time. It doesn't work. What works, unfortunately, and fortunately for us, is peer pressure and shame. That's what does it. I remember talking to my aunt once about blackout curtains. And she said, during World War II, at a certain time at night, everybody would drop the blackout curtains. You just did. And if you didn't, your neighbor would come by and knock at the door and says, what, are you trying to get us bombed? And don't you want to fight for what about the boys fighting overseas, right? Do your victory garden. So there was a common uniting force, which was not the government, but was you're sending your brother, your son, your husband off to fight, and all your neighbors were all in it together. So that was the common goal was that we're going to do our best to defeat the Nazis, and you've got your kid on the line. But in these cases, like, what do you care if you eat more calories? You don't care. And what do you care if you drink and do drugs? It doesn't mean anything to you. It has to come culturally. It's not the government can't do it. Same thing with cigarettes. People still smoking cigarettes, keep jacking the price up on the thing. But a lot, just culturally, it just became something like, ugh, you smell like cigarettes. Right? Am I crazy like that?
I guess so. I mean, I think the blackout shade thing, I mean, that makes a lot of sense because you literally could die if
I mean, Philadelphia, were they going to bomb Philadelphia? It already looked like it had been bombed.
Fair.
Prior to the war. So, but it was just a sense of, it was group peer pressure. And also group peer pressure has a lot to do with a DUI. and people driving drunk. You go to a party now, people are all over you. Like the other day, Rye had some friends over. I won't say his name on the air. And he's standing there. He starts going to the car. And Nick goes, Well, Nick's like, no. We're at the barn. They're all there, boozing it up. And Nick goes, where are you going? I'm going to drive home. No, you're not. Yeah. It's okay. It's not that far to go. She goes, give me your keys. No, that's okay, Mrs. Curley. Right now. You have one DUI already, right? Yeah, it's like, it's not a big deal. It's like he's drunk. And then Nick ends up describing to me what would be like the worst night in prison possible for this kid. A lot of large men, various nationalities, wanting to date him for like 10 minutes. And she lays out this whole thing. Is that what you want? Do you want all those big guys climbing all over you? He's like, no. She goes, then give me the keys. And then he ended up spending the night there, and then everybody else spent the night there. But the social stigma, you see it at parties all the time. You're not driving, are you? You're not driving, I'll drive you home. Or, get an Uber or something. That changed. Not because the government was telling you. It was because everybody else, individuals that knew you, had relationships that caused you to change your behavior. That's what I find.
I think technology, the advent of Uber, and that helps too.
The government's programs like, are you going to be doing karaoke this weekend? Don't do Journeys. Don't stop believing. Brought to you by, the federal karaoke committee or something like that. Can't stop certain things, and you can't stop believing. Doses of psilocybin, also known as mushrooms, helping smokers quit in a new study. That's good. Psilocybin also being used when it comes to PTSD. It creates a block, stops the stimuli that would normally go to the one receptor in the brain that it goes to all the time. It has to create new pathways, and because of that, you have new ways to solve problems. And Joe is a big fan of people not smoking. Oh, no. He's a big fan of psilocybin, so that's where that comes in there. All right? Nice. And the last part of the story is because of GLPs, also known as Ozempic, it's caused a great decline in the number of women that are drinking white wine. When you take those drugs, when you shoot those drugs in, it reduces your desire and your appetite and your taste for wine. So there has been a massive fall off in women that were drinking Chardonnay, not only because of after the lockdown of COVID and everything, people stopped drinking as much wine, but also because there's a direct correlation between women that were on Ozempic and wine consumption. And the wine industry is just reeling.
It also affects the same neural pathways that it's not just alcohol, but other addictions as well.
Oh, you got to hear.
This was a review of 40 studies that really looked at the connection between GLP drugs and alcohol and substance
It's Ozempic stuff and GLP drugs.
use disorders. And they did, in fact, find that preclinical and clinical studies show that these GLP drugs seem to reduce both the use and craving for alcohol, tobacco, opioids, and other psychostimulant substances. So you may be wondering, how could that be? GLPs, we think about them in the intestines. They're produced in the intestines. Actually, they're also produced in the brain. And there are receptors for GLPs spread throughout the brain in areas that control things like stress, reward, satiety, or the sensation of fullness. So the idea is that you're probably interacting with or touching these pathways in the brain that may also be the same pathways affected by addiction.
Okay, there you go. All right, there's a doctor coming in. Her parents spent a lot of money to send her to medical school, so we thought we'd give her some time on the show.
Very nice of you.
Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Well, we do have a new accident, actually two, southbound 167 at Ellingston and northbound I-5 at Bridgeport in the right lane. Now, the collision north 5 of the T-Dome has cleared, making your drive Tacoma to Federal Way just 13 minutes now. We're looking at an hour, Seattle to Everett, Seattle to Federal Way is an 11-minute delay. Bellevue to Everett is an hour, and Bellevue to Federal Way just 59 minutes. Traffic is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio App. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Lori. KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So, hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. Whoa!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Rolling Stone calls Victor Wooten one of the 10 greatest bassists of all time. Now he's bringing the Wooten brothers to Dimitro's Jazz Alley, March 19th through 22nd. 4 nights, 6 shows, pure funk. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
So restaurants will do all sorts of stuff to get people to come in there and little fun, games and contests. My buddy Lash, that's got the Thai restaurant there in Cle Elum, has got the Lash Chicken Pad Thai 8-star challenge, which I think 3 people have completed, and I think 2 of them are still alive. Ridiculous. And you get, I said, what do you win? What do you win? I said, well, what do you win if you do this thing? You get the meal for free. I said, oh my God, that's it? That's all you get? What do you want? I said, well, I don't know, but like the 8 stars is crazy. Look, he's got a little piece of paper up on the wall trying to get people to sign up for it. Last time somebody did it, I told you they vomited 3 times and somebody called the cops on them.
Really?
Wait,
they called the cops on the restaurant or the
the cops showed up because we kept running outside and throwing up. I said, is that legal? No, you can vomit. You want to go ahead, come on back in. I was like, oh, okay, fine. Well, here's one right here. These guys have an oyster house in Mobile, Alabama. And the sign on the wall proclaims that what's the complaint?
That anyone who walks in with anyone 80 years old and over who walks in with their father gets free oysters.
Yes. And
the Rushmen love raw oysters. Although they grew up in Mobile, they live in Florida now. But coming to the downtown Mobile Wenzel's location is tradition. On the walls, dozens of signs with quotes and witty jokes. But there's one that's been a decades-old obsession to Carl Rush.
But I can quote by heart. Free oysters to any man 80 years old accompanied by his father. So in seeing that sign, we felt like our dad was going to make it to 100 because he's in great health. So we've been talking about it as a family for 25, 30 years.
Carl's older brother, Jim.
Wow, these guys have a lot. They got a lot on their plate. Just thinking about, Dad, you got to hang on. We have 30 more years to go. Hey, Dad, switch over to the filtered cigarettes because you got 27 more years to go. We really want to get those oysters.
He would be the first to turn 80. His father,
I'm 99.
Yep, Jim is 99 years old.
They roll him in there.
And other than losing his vision, says he's in great health. The Rushmen turned
in great health for a 99-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, he's blind, but
the event into a huge celebration, inviting about 60 family members and friends to Wenzel's. Jimmy says it's been his best birthday yet.
Never thought about any birthdays except my 80th. That's the one I was looking forward to.
Because of the sun?
Because of the sun.
And Wenzel's made good on its promise, delivering a dozen free oysters.
Well, I hope they do. Well, technically, your dad has to have the ability to read this sign. But since your father is blind, we're not going to pay. The whole family's been waiting for this thing for 30 years.
To the 80-year-old. Besides Jim's 100th birthday coming up, the Rushmen say they're looking forward to doing this again.
Well, we will be back to do this all over again October of 2028 when I turn 80.
Unfortunately for the Rushmans, they didn't realize that their father had a seafood shellfish allergy. It killed him on the way out.
I can't believe all they give him was a dozen oysters.
That's it?
Yeah. Nobody's ever won this in the history of the restaurant. All they get is 12 free oysters.
I told you about the restaurant in Washington, D.C. was trying to increase the number of people coming in on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. No, Tuesday, Wednesday were really dead. So they have a dice, and if you a die, and you roll it, and if you get a 6, then you get a free meal. Everybody at the table gets a free meal. So what happens is there's 4 people sitting there. The guy brings over a little platter, and they take the lid off, and they give you the die, and then you throw it. I think it's 1 in 16 chance that you're going to get a 6 or something like that. And the owner of the restaurant said to his brother,
wouldn't it be 1 in 6?
Maybe it was 2 die.
Okay.
Dice. To roll 6. Yeah, that would be it.
Okay.
So the brother said, well, mathematically, it's like 1 in 16 chance. So you're going to have to pay out. Every 16 people that come in, you got to pay somebody out for 1. He goes, oh, I'll do that. And now he, pushing people away Tuesdays and Wednesdays. People want to come in, because they sit down. Hey, order more. Could be free.
It's got to gamify it.
I like that. That's a good idea. Think about that. Winsler's Oyster House. 1 plate for these old folks? That's not fair. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Okay, Seattle to Linwood now is a 45-minute drive, and Seattle to Federal Way the same. Bellevue to Linwood, 41 minutes, and Bellevue to Federal Way, we've got an hour now. 167. We still got this accident at Ellingston. It's southbound 167 causing a slowdown actually in both directions approaching the scene. Northbound I-5 at Bridgeport, a collision in the right lane. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's the tale of Tina, searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I'd put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So, hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
Staples has hot deals on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. FBI agent Jennifer Runyon says of today's attack at a Michigan synagogue.
We are leading the investigation right now as a targeted act of violence against the Jewish community.
A man armed with a rifle rammed a vehicle into the building in West Bloomfield Township, engaged with security guards, and is now dead. Two law enforcement sources tell CBS News that there were mortar-type explosives in the vehicle, and the suspect's body is badly burned, complicating identification. One security guard was taken to the hospital after being injured by the vehicle, and 30 officers had to be taken to hospitals due to smoke inhalation. President Trump has responded to the synagogue attack, calling it a terrible thing.
The president spoke at a White House event marking Women's History Month.
Before we begin, I want to send our love to the Michigan Jewish community and all of the people in Detroit.
Trump said he's been fully briefed while a full investigation is underway.
We're going to be right down to the bottom of it.
While the president did not discuss any details, he did lament.
It's absolutely incredible that things like this happen.
A motive has not yet been determined, but synagogues around the world have increased security since the U.S. and Israel launched a war against Iran. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
A man walked into the business school at Old Dominion University this morning and shot and injured 3 people, one whom has died. The suspect was contained by ROTC students in the classroom and died. He was not shot, according to Dominique Evans with the FBI.
I can tell you that we have confirmed reports that prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he stated Allah Akbar, and he was formerly a subject of a FBI investigation.
CBS News has learned that there has been another U.S. military medical evacuation flight. It flew from Saudi Arabia today to a U.S. base in Germany with about 19 injured service members on board. Among them were 2 military members injured when a drone exploded next to their vehicle. Iran state media relays the first public statement attributed to the new supreme leader, in which he says Iran's stranglehold will continue on the Strait of Hormuz, as well as attacks on U.S. Persian Gulf allies. CBS's Matt Gutman in Tel Aviv reports.
A fifth of the world's oil, a large part of its LNG, liquefied natural gas, a lot, like a third of the fertilizer, goes through this 20-mile-wide choke point at the Strait of Hormuz. They are blocking traffic. They are also telling insurers that it's a really bad idea to insure any tankers or commercial vessels passing through there, and basically stopping, in some ways, part of the global market.
This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Mornings. This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
The legislative session has come to an end. We'll explore some of the highlights next. But first, a look at traffic from the real-time traffic desk. Here's Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. The collision 167 southbound at Ellingson now blocking 2 lanes, 2 right lanes, backing you up all the way to 405 in Renton. Northbound I-5 at Bridgeport, we have a collision in the right lane. 16 slowing into Gig Harbor. Southbound I-5 pretty heavy through Federal Way all the way to 16. We have an hour drive, Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Linwood an hour, and Bellevue to Federal Way an hour drive. Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save up to 20% plus enjoy 12 months, same as cash financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com now. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Today marks the end of the legislative session in Olympia. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports that Governor Ferguson gives lawmakers high marks.
Ferguson points to bills that support affordable housing and infrastructure, roads and bridges as big wins. Also a bill that prevents ICE agents from wearing masks.
I think it's outrageous that we have ICE agents in unmarked cars who are masked, plucking people off our streets.
Also a bill that supports breaking away from federal health and vaccine guidelines.
So we can go our own way here in Washington State and make sure that people have advice from experts.
The biggest win for the governor, the millionaire's tax. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Ferguson wishes lawmakers did more to fund Washington state ferries. Washington lawmakers have voted to roll back estate tax increases passed last year. The top rate drops from 35% back to 20%. If the governor signs the bill, the new law will restore those lower rates for the estates of those who die on or after July 1st of this year. Utility crews haven't stopped working since last night, restoring power to customers. Andrew Padula with Puget Sound Energy tells us what crews are dealing with.
Numerous tree limbs into our lines. There are some locations where we have had damage to substations and areas where poles have been taken out completely, which means we'll have to replace all of that. I believe that we had about 65,000 outages kind of at the peak of this storm.
That number is now down to just over 8,000. Snohomish PUD down to 450. One person died after a tree slammed down on a car in Monroe last night. Neighbors heard the crack and smash and then sirens around 8:30. Kaya Eden spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
Any one of these trees can fall. You have to stay home. They call them widowmakers for a reason.
Responders tried to save the person who was trapped in their car, but they were pronounced dead at the scene. Average gas prices in Washington rose another 2 cents overnight. That's 30 cents in a week and almost 70 cents in a month. The average price of a gallon is now $4.98 in King County, according to AAA. The national average is at $3.50. And now your weather update. Scattered rain showers stick around through the evening. We'll drop to 35 overnight in the Seattle area, and that could produce a light rain-snow mix in the Friday morning's commute. Tomorrow afternoon, much like today, before clearing out a bit for the weekend. 46 and a light drizzle in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hey, I don't know about you, but two of my favorite foods are apple and it's called a crawfish. Well, thanks. Bye.
All right, there we are. So that put him down. Those are his two favorite foods, apple and called a crayfish.
Apple.
Again,
new species of crayfish has been found in eastern Washington. It's called the crayfish. A grad student spotted its apple-colored shell near a lake while hiking.
Poor Aaron. You know, it's so sad. He's like the substitute teacher that comes into the classroom and we just make fun of him. He's the consummate newsman, and then we take stuff out of order and then replay it. And he sits there like, why? Oh God, why?
I get the feeling he enjoys it.
You think so?
I think
in his own
yes
kind of quiet way. If you'd like to leave great bits of information about yourself that seems totally useless to anyone else other than yourself. 801-575-5532. 801-575-5532. You could start off the show right there. John Curley Show. All right, let's see the news that is breaking there in Michigan. This is a large synagogue. A man drove right through the doors, went down the hallway. He was, do we have any sound on it or not? He was shot. They don't know if he died from the fire in the car or whether he shot himself. Luckily, no one was hurt other than the attacker that went into the synagogue. Just a couple of weeks earlier, the synagogue had practiced a attack, emergency evacuation drills. In this case, there were people that were there already for security, and when the guy came storming through the doors in his car and then into the hallways, he met his demise. So I'm going to count up. Let's see. There was the attack at Old Dominion University. Shooter goes in there. Was that about was that Thursday? It was Thursday. That was last Thursday. Yeah, here's that one. So here's that one. Hang on. Here we go.
Identity of this individual gunman as Mohammed Jola. What we know about this individual is they actually convicted in a completely separate case 10 years ago, right? So back in 2016, they're arrested in connection with this FBI bust of involving support for ISIS. And in that case, what the authorities alleged is that this individual bought a gun and was part of a plot to kill members of the military. So while we do not, the authorities have not yet spoken as to the official motive, we know that he was associated with ISIS in the past and admitted to that in conjunction with that case, and that was allegedly part of a plot to kill members of the military. He ultimately got 11 years in prison, and he was released in 2024. And if viewers are trying to do the math on that, the reason for that is because you have to do at least 85% of your time behind bars under federal law.
Yeah, okay. So they knew he was part of ISIS. He tried to get guns for ISIS. He had spent time being groomed to support the fatwa and wanting to kill as many people as he possibly could. They sent him away, and he comes back out. That was today?
Yeah.
The Old Dominion guy?
Yes.
Holy. Okay. So today, and then the one in Michigan, and then was it on Saturday or Sunday, some young men from Pennsylvania decided to throw a sort of a homemade nail bomb that into the crowd in front of the mayor's house. And the reason that thing got such a weird reaction is because the way the media reacted to it. It was so strange. CNN has had to take down the tweet that they put up because it just made zero sense. These two Islamic terrorists from Pennsylvania, I think one was like 21, the other's 18 or something like that, run up while there's this protest going. There's two protests going. One is anti-Muslim by a bunch of right-wing numbskulls, and then there was a counter-protest that's set up, and they were there. But these guys run up and throw this homemade bomb out there to, I assume, kill as many people or injure as many people as they could. I think they're probably throwing it into the crowd where the anti-Muslim people were, right? I'm assuming. So here's CNN's headline. On Tuesday, CNN publishes the now legendary and heavily revised human interest story on the Shiatist bombers, Amir Balat and Ikram Kami. It says, here's the quote, 2 Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York on Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day, enjoying the city during an abnormally warm weather. But in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change. Huh? Yeah. Because they made a bomb and lit it on fire and threw it into a crowd. Isn't it odd the way they set that up? I guess it's to make us feel, I don't know, to humanize them somehow, to make them feel like us, I don't know, if you feel sorry for them or something. They went there to New York on a warm day. They were just going to have an average day, and then something like that happens. It just seems so unfair to them. And then, so there was the one attack in Old Dominion, this one at the synagogue, and on Saturday or Sunday, 2 Islamic terrorists, homegrown folks, make them even more dangerous, end up throwing a homemade bomb at the people that were out front. So, yeah, it's weird the way the media did that. They've had to apologize for it, and they took it down. But how does that even get out there in the first place? Did you see that one, Joe?
I didn't see that. It's not the CNN story.
That's the thing they put out. All right. And does this all align with what's happening in Iran? Absolutely. And I saw somebody on CNN was saying, well, what do you expect? This is Donald Trump's fault for going into Iran. We can only expect these people to come out of the woodwork and start terrorizing people in the United States. Okay. Well, you blaming Trump for that? Interesting connection that they're making with all this. Here's the update on what's happening in Iran. This is from News Nation. They say
an FBI memo sent to California law enforcement agencies warning that Iran had aspirations to conduct a surprise attack along our west coast. The retaliatory plans to launch attack drones from a boat off the coast were revealed in late February. So this memo, it does not specify when or where Iran would target, but we know it was in anticipation of the U.S. launching strikes on the country alongside Israel. Since then, California Governor Gavin Newsom saying drones have been, quote, top of mind.
We've been working collaboratively through the SOC, which we established right after the war began, the State Operations Center, working with the Office of Emergency Service, but also working locally to make sure we transmit any information that we have received. And we're aware of that information, and we transfer that information in real time to our local partners.
It is standard procedure for the FBI to let agencies know about any potential threats. But, Marky, the Oscars awards will be given out in Los Angeles this weekend.
Okay.
We're told the security for that event has already been increased.
Yes, fine. And President Trump referring to the sleeper cells that are out there in the United States.
Have you been briefed about how many Iran sleeper cells there could be inside the U.S. right now?
I have been, and a lot of people came in through Biden with this stupid open border. But we know where most of them are. We've got our eye on all of them. They came in through the open border policies of Sleepy Joe Biden.
Okay.
One of the worst president in the history of our country. And we've got our eyes on all of them. But the war itself is being prosecuted at a level that nobody's seen before. It's pretty amazing to watch.
All right. So they're out there. Yes, Joe wants to raise his hand.
Okay, question. If we know where they are...
No, we don't know where they are.
He just said we know where they are, we're watching them, and they came in through Sleepy Joe Biden's open border policy.
Yeah.
Are those not the people that you should be deporting? If you know where they are? I mean, what that seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, it should be. There was a group, part of the FBI and Homeland Security, after September 11th, that started spying, FBI especially, started spying on sleeper cells and going to mosques and looking through people's emails and tracking them. Slowly but surely, it got defunded. And then when the Biden administration went in, they got rid of it entirely because it's biased and it wasn't fair. It was making people feel bad. So they got rid of it. Now, whether they're still doing it or not, who knows? But certainly this will put people on alert that they probably should start to go after these folks. But where are they? And are they tracking them? Unfortunately, there'll be more. Luckily, CNN will write headlines for them if they do something terrible. Like, the Oklahoma City bombing. This is the way Babylon Bee says that the CNN would write up the Oklahoma City bombing. A passionate young man's life was turned upside down after he illegally parked a car in front of the Alfred P. Mora Federal Building, directly leading to his apprehension by police. A jury of his peers later sentenced him to death. His life was turned upside down after parking illegally. Unfortunately, there'll be more of these attacks, and there's no way you can possibly stop them because you saw the number of attacks on Jewish institutions and Jews in general right after October 7th. Same thing happens today. Now you'll just see whether it be in Michigan or in Old Dominion, Virginia, or New York City, there'll just be more of it. Meanwhile, this is government officials. State media officials are warning about the population about signs of uprising in the streets. This is in Iran, I assume.
The order for their execution has been issued.
That was just one of the many threats we have seen in the past few days coming from Iranian officials and state media figures. As the regime faces America and Israel from the sky, it is clearly worried about the threat from within and doing everything it can to ensure that people will not rise up again. The chief of police warned Iranians, essentially saying protesters will be treated as the enemy and shot.
Our team have their fingers on the trigger, ready to defend the Islamic Revolution and support our people and our homeland.
support our people. They were doing this 4 or 5 weeks ago. They were shooting people in the streets. I think they thought 7,000 to 10,000 had been shot. You'd saw people walking through the streets, and they were doing their protests and stuff, and then they had snipers up in the building firing away at them. I think they arrested or they went around and investigated more than 30,000 or 50,000 Iranians also being terrorized by the government. They don't want anybody to say anything against them.
We've been hearing from people inside the country. Not only are they under intense U.S. and Israeli bombardment, there's also this increased atmosphere of fear.
Yeah.
Checkpoints everywhere, many arrests. Anyone speaking out or sharing photos and videos is accused of collaborating with the enemy.
Yeah.
This is a ruthless regime that has always used force to silence Iranians. But this time, the threats have become near daily, and they're doing all this so openly. And they're threatening Iranians in the diaspora with legal orders to confiscate property, to go after them, and even worse.
We will make your mothers mourn you. This message is for you, both inside and outside the country.
With President Donald Trump's mixed messages on this war and where it's all headed, many Iranians worry that the regime will survive. And at the end of this, they'll be left all alone to deal with the consequences.
We heard from a man, he refers to himself as Sam. He's in Redmond. He left Iran, I think it was 1977 or 76 or 78, somewhere in there. And his perspective was quite sobering? Well, yeah, it was sobering. Plus, it gave a much broader view than what you're getting in each one of these little sort of snippets. When we asked him if he was in favor of the war, yes, but he said the work to be done is much larger than people realize, because you have to go in there and eliminate every trace of the theocracy, the religious terrorism over the government, and to get rid of all of that and to start over again. I thought the most interesting thing that Sam had said is that 90% of the folks there are Muslim, but not necessarily practicing to the extent where they want to go around and cut people's heads off. But you had 10% that were driving the religion and the government combined. And that's where the problem and the terror came from. And that the people of Iran want just to live normal lives. They don't want to be constantly in battle. They don't want to have sanctions on top of them. They don't want an inflation that is in place. They just want to live their life. Highly educated group of people that have lived since 1979 under the disgusting bloody thumb of the Ayatollah. And now that the sun is involved, but the work to be done to eradicate them like a cancer, to hit them with like a chemotherapy sort of stuff, get all of that terrorism stuff out of there. And then who comes in place? And that's the next thing we want to talk to him about, is once the vacuum is there, and he doesn't think there's going to be a vacuum formed. He thinks that that you can get enough people to come in there and create a new government that doesn't use religion as a way of forcing people to have absolutely zero rights.
He's very worried that we're not committed to that extent. That there's not, that this is a 4 or 5 week campaign. That's not going to cut it. It's either regime change or nothing.
Right. If you think of it like in your hand, the palm of your hand is Iran, and then your fingers are all these terrorist organizations, Hamas, right, the Houthis, anyone in Lebanon, anything that's surrounding Israel, they're all in. There's like 4 or 5 of them. They're all being supported by Iran. So you think, okay, if you decimate Iran and you stop all the power and then the money, do those other sleeper cells that aren't so sleepy, do they just give up as well? Or do you have to go into Lebanon and drag them out of there? Hamas in Gaza, are we going door to door to get them out?
And is that
Does the United States have the stomach for that sort of thing?
Exactly.
I don't know what feeds them. Maybe there's no way to stop them if they still have funding. Because right now they're doing their best in the Straits. They're slowing down oil. They're firing missiles out. They're still going.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the whole plan of the Ayatollah, was like, look, we'll be here, but then we'll have all these other guys all out there. We'll make sure that they're all out there with them.
And they've for 42 years, we've been saying, they're like, we need to invade now, or Israel's been saying we need to invade now because they're weeks away from having a nuclear weapon. So they've had 42 years of thinking, hey, they could come and get us at any time. So that's 42 years of preparation for an invasion.
Yep. The Houthis, the what are the other ones? Who's up there in Lebanon? Is that the Houthis? Yeah, they're the ones that are firing the stuff out there towards the Red Sea and everything. Well, you know what's going to happen? There's going to be another story that's going to come along. And just like, remember everybody, Ukraine for like 4 weeks. And then people stop wearing the Ukraine buttons. They stop putting that stuff on their Instagram. This thing eventually just rolls on. And like, oh, is that war still going on? Our attention for all of this. So limited. All right. Now here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. We still have this big problem southbound 167 at Ellingston, taking up 2 right lanes, backing you up all the way to 405 in Renton, and northbound slows approaching the scene as well. North 5 at Bridgeport, we still have the right lane blocked. Everett to Bellevue now is a 35-minute drive. Bellevue to Federal Way, an hour. If you're heading from Everett to Marysville, just a 9-minute slowdown. Everett to Seattle, 38 minutes. Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save up to 20% plus enjoy 12-month same as cash financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com now. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. If you have a shoulder that's bothering you, an elbow, an ankle, a wrist or knee, any kind of joint problem, and you're like, gosh, this is really slowing me down, and you can't run, or maybe you can't play ping pong or paddle, or you just can't enjoy your life because you're in constant pain. Maybe you have to get up skiing because your knees are bad. And you're like, I guess I should get surgery. And you're like, oh, man, I don't want to do that. I've talked to a whole bunch of folks, patients that have gone to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. And each one of them had some different problem, a shoulder problem, an elbow, an ankle, a wrist, a knee, whatever it was. But everybody had the same ending to their story, which went like this. I went to Dr. Mark Wagner. After I saw a surgeon, I decided not to get surgery because the percentage of actually decreasing my pain wasn't worth the risk. I went there. I found out about stem cell procedures. It was a 90-minute outpatient procedure, and Wagner had done more than 20,000 of these. I signed up, and I feel great. No more shoulder, ankle, wrist, or knee problems. Hey, right there. I'm telling you, did the same thing for my hip. drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
With Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, maintenance is the key to a long-lasting roof. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? Call us today. Our first-time customers can save $99. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundled your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A potential new weapon against fentanyl overdoses is moving closer to human trials. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery reports.
Seattle-based Counter X Therapeutics announced a licensing deal this week with the University of Washington and University of Minnesota. The agreement gives Counter X access to patents for opioid treatments and vaccines. Its lead candidate is an injectable antibody that latches onto fentanyl and stops it from reaching the brain. The company says it's not an opioid and showed no bad side effects in early testing. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports clinical trials are expected to begin later this year. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Tacoma police thought a 12-year-old boy may have been murdered last year, but now we've learned how he actually died.
The medical examiner says a heart condition killed Preston James Hemingway Lux. He was found dead last September in a South Tacoma apartment. The 911 caller reported blood coming from his mouth and nose. According to the News Tribune, turns out he had a condition that causes the heart's chambers to enlarge, which makes it harder to pump blood to the rest of the body. His mother had told the Tribune that the ME's office said her son's heart problem would not have been spotted during regular doctor's visits. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Today marks the end of the legislative session in Olympia. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports Democrats are happy with the bills they passed.
Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson says the biggest win for Dems is passing the income tax on millionaires.
It helps write our budget. It also helps by creating some more affordability for working families in the state.
He also points to bills that push back on the federal government, preventing ICE agents from wearing masks, regulating license plate readers, and allowing the state to decertify sheriffs and police chiefs.
The same rules that apply to line officers are now going to apply to their bosses.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
King County Metro is expanding bus service starting March 28th, adding earlier morning trips, later nights, and more weekend service. The service expansion will cover the east side and South King County. This week, King County Executive Jeremiah Zahilai spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
South King County is the place where people have gone because they've been priced out of Seattle, for example. And so the more that we can connect people to opportunity through bus service, the stronger our economy will be.
Metro is also launching system-wide all-door boarding to speed up rides and reduce delays. King County says this will strengthen connections to the Sound Transit's Link Light Rail, including the new 2 line, which also goes into service on March 28th. And now at 4:32, let's head over to the real-time traffic desk and get an update with Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by the KIRO News Radio app. Seattle to Everett, we have an hour, 9-minute drive, and Seattle to Federal Way, just under an hour. at 59 minutes. A 3-mile backup from a collision southbound 167 at Ellingson, blocking the 2 right lanes, causing a northbound slowdown approaching the scene as well. Northbound I-5 at Bridgeport, the right lane is still blocked, backing you up to DuPont. 512 eastbound slows from Meridian to Canyon, and we are seeing Bellevue to Linwood a 50-minute drive, and Bellevue to Federal Way is an hour. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio app, listen to your favorite shows, and get the latest news updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Scattered rain showers into the evening, heaviest near the Everett Convergence Zone, and heavy snow continues in the mountains. We could see a slight rain-snow mix with an overnight low near 35. Light sprinkles and 46 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Spring showers? Yeah, right. More like spring sprinkles, downpours, hailstorms, cold snaps, flooding, and even sometimes a little sun. Spring in Western Washington changes day to day, even hour to hour. That's why you need experts who have degrees and decades of experience and the right tools to keep you weather ready. Watch KIRO 7 Pinpoint Weather Forecasts in every newscast and on the KIRO 7 apps from your phone or TV.
Wow, Joe. Well said, well read for a guy that spent a lot of time in the rabbit hole. Look at you, huh? All right. Bucky's. 50 years Bucky's been around. It's the same repeating melody. I can't do any of this. I can't do any of this. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yes, you can.
It's not going anywhere.
You're giving up.
It's it's the same 3 notes. I can't do this.
He's distracted.
This is terrible. It's on you.
Are you happy?
Give the song I give it a 2. It's hard to dance to.
A 2 out of
American
3?
Bandstand. There was a Dick Clark American Bandstand. So what do you think of the song? I'll give it a 3. It's great. It's hard to dance to. Lost on you. I guess I was born too early. The rest of you people have no idea what I'm talking about. How about the Soul Train? Anybody? Anyone? Lori, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on,
Dick Clark, rock and roll.
You old person like me. That's right. The Soul
That's right.
Train. We used to spend our Saturdays watching the Soul Train go right on into Dick Clark. Mm-hmm. All righty, here we go. We just hit this story. I guess it was probably the end of January. New mayor of Seattle, executive order, which was if you're a police officer and you're working for the city of Seattle, all 30 of you, you got to do this. You've got to report stuff. If you see any ICE people out there doing their job, you got to document it. So the city of Seattle had to document it. So then you get the police officer who violated the new policy requiring documentation of ICE actions, including video recording, will be subject to disciplinary proceedings. So then you had Chief Barnes going in there and saying that any police officer who violated the new city policy requiring documentation of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement actions, including video recording, and all subject to disciplinary proceedings. The quote, this would be a violation of our policy and violation of the law. I don't know what law it is. What law would it be? They passed a law on this already? So they want the cops. They said that if you don't do it, if you're not documenting, getting the names of these ICE agents, you could be placed on administrative leave and collective bargaining agreement. Well, they're trying.
Sound is in there if you want.
Yeah, they're trying to do something in order to get more police officers to become police officers. This is not going to do it.
Seattle Police Chief highlighting a new directive for his department about how officers should interact with ICE agents. Chief John Barnes told the Federal Administration and Policy Committee last week that officers must record video of ICE agents when they encounter them at a scene in an attempt to get agents' identity.
Okay, here's the question. So if the ICE agents are there because it's what the federal law says that they can go there and get somebody, so the cops are supposed to show up. Do they videotape them even when they're just doing their job? Or are they videotaping them if they think something's going wrong? Are they there to get the names of the guys? Like, even if they're just doing what they are legally supposed to do? A little vague on this one, but
SPD officers who do not follow the new regulations or violates any other rules could face disciplinary action.
So that would be a violation.
Here's your Chief Barnes.
Of our policy, potentially a violation of the law. So that person would be investigated by OPA. Potentially, that person could be placed on administrative leave per the collective bargaining agreement. And then depending on whether it was sustained, which means that the Office of Police Accountability found that person did violate the law and a policy, then that person would have an opportunity to state their case in the Loudermill hearing with me, and then I would have to adjudicate that based on the recommended discipline from the Office of Police Accountability, which is independent of the police department.
The National Police Association is watching the issue closely. It says the city's directive is problematic for several reasons. For one, they say it opens a door for an officer to be subpoenaed in federal cases. Sergeant Betsy Smith with NPA released a statement which reads in part, "This is an absolutely untenable position for any Seattle police officer to be placed in, and frankly a huge waste of time that could be better spent on more serious issues in the city of Seattle, of which there are many." She goes on to say,
"Yeah, fine, we get it. Look." Cops are pretty much cops. And some people have a problem with some of these ICE agents. I've talked to a couple of cops. Yeah, they're a little too aggressive. Maybe the training is the same. But a lot of these guys come from military. They spend time in the Army, Air Force, Marines, wherever they're coming from. And there's a special sort of bond between these dudes. And I can't imagine you're going to get a cop, a Seattle cop, who already has been crapped on for years from the city council and everybody else, the media. You think that cop, I'd love to hear from a police officer, who's going to yeah, I saw an ICE guy. I got his name. I got video of him. Here, was he doing anything wrong? I don't know, but are we supposed to, if he's supposed to doing something wrong, are we supposed to then arrest him? So there's the ICE guys doing their job. Then you got the Seattle Police Department, all 32 of them or something, are supposed to be watching them do their job, and then reporting on them and getting their names. And then if you don't do that, you're going to have to go before some feel-good committee group that doesn't like you anyway. And they're going to be like, yeah, well, you didn't report his name, or you misspelled it, or you didn't get a video of him doing what? Seattle cops tell socialist mayor to kick rocks. No way they are policing ICE. Yeah, I cannot imagine these guys doing this. I don't see it happening. But if they don't do it, then I guess they're in trouble. And you wonder why people don't want to work for you. You wonder why, and I've heard from folks on the inside, I don't know how many of them are going to, when this is going to hit, but you run up your overtime, you get your numbers up as high as you can, and then once you get it up, 5-year average on how much you're working, how much money you're making, and then you pull the ripcord, you burn up all of your sick pay, all your vacation pay, and you're out, and you quit, you retire, and away you go. You think people are going to want to work for such a politically toxic group of people? Chief Barnes in there, placating the mayor and the rest of the people with this idea that they have to keep track of what these ICE guys are doing? No way. And it just goes, you're sort of a blind, deaf, dumb idea of the culture of these police officers.
Add it to the list of things Seattle is screwing up on its own.
Yes. You're all right. You seem really down. You want me to get you a Snickers bar?
No, I do not.
What happened to you?
What do you mean?
You went hard at the gym and you seem all sad and cranky. I'm going to get you a Snickers bar.
No, please don't.
We'll cut it in half.
No Snickers today.
Cut it in a quarter.
Nope. I'm off it.
Let you lick the paper.
No, thank you.
All right.
I am so sad.
Oh, Teeny, be quiet. Oh, she's on the floor.
That's your job now.
No wonder. I was in the bathroom fixing my hair.
It's all from this day forward. It is always your job.
Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Well, we still have this accident, a 3-mile backup now from a collision. 167 at southbound at Ellingson, blocking 2 right lanes. Very heavy traffic northbound approaching the scene. A collision north 5 at Bridgeport in the right lane is backing you up all the way to DuPont. Seattle to Everett, an hour 9 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, just under an hour at 59. And Bellevue to Federal Way, that's an hour. I'm Lori, KIRO Real Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
High five. Up top.
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. What is something someone can do right now to protect themselves from being on the wrong side of the IRS?
It's really pretty simple, and that is do it right. File on time and pay on time. Yet things do get in the way, like we know. And if you have situations where you're feeling a little concerned about what's in your tax return, get some professional help. And there is a group or a class of people that just think they can put anything they want in their tax return, and they think they are being smarter than the government. It's kind of like the person, the narcissist that thinks they're smarter than everybody else and they're going to get away with it. They will maybe for a while, but the time will come. There will be a day of reckoning.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel welcomes Seattle Golf Show March 13th through 15th at Puyallups Washington State Fair Event Center. Parking's free. Get front door bonus golf, see 100 exhibits, top courses, and shop big brands with Putts Golf. Tickets, seattlegolfshow.com.
We've got a surefire way for you to feel lucky this St. Patty's Day. Get a saltwater hot spring spa from Olympic Hot Tub. Take advantage of big savings and get 5 years to pay for it, interest-free. But hurry, this deal ends St. Patrick's Day. OlympicHotTub.com.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Just when you thought you could have a fun competition where everybody's, all in it together, people aren't trying to cheat on something. This is one more example. People just trying to beat the system. The camel pageant is thrown into chaos after 20 people, count them, competitors, if they want to call themselves that, were disqualified for using hump-plumping injectables into the backs of the camels. And this, every year we have to do this story. Every year it's so disheartening. But now 20 people have been now caught up in the hump plumping injectables. I remember 30 years ago when I first got into this business, I said, I hope the day comes when camels' humps are not being plumped. I think I said that the first time I met you, Joe. I said, listen, when we do a story, let's just make sure we stay away from those camel humped stories. And now here it is again. And I thought, can't we evolve as a species? Apparently not. 20 of them out there plumping up those humps. Is that hump not big enough for you? Why don't you plump it up a little bit more? Oh, nobody's looking. What does the camel care? Walking around with a big plumped hump. 20 of them. God. I'm sorry.
If they're giving steroids to racehorses, I don't think it's that surprising that
No.
plumping up humps.
You know what it is? I just care. I have a hold in my heart a place for humanity, and every year they disappoint. But then I look down at the next story and I think, well, here we go. This will redeem everybody. A kickboxer becomes the first person in the UK to pull a car with his testicles.
Excellent.
Why does he have to be a kickboxer?
He doesn't.
But he's the first kickboxer. So apparently there's other people that have pulled cars with their testicles in the UK, but this is the first kickboxer. As we start to divide them up by hobbies or occupations.
You can tell we're trying to get away from politics for a couple of minutes.
Do we have video or any audio or anything?
I'm working on this. I got some camel audio for you, but it sounds like
we're moving on. We're moving on to the kickboxer.
Let me see here.
I was when I was in Scotland at the Edinburgh Theatre Festival. As you're looking for the kickboxer, there was a guy there, the freak circus of some sort, and he had like a clothes iron. He'd swing that from himself. Had a whole bunch of stuff he's picking up with all those bits and pieces. What was the name of that freak circus that they would just all sorts of things clanging and swinging around? But so officially now, if you were trying to be the first kickboxer, you could probably get this award in the United States, but it's already been captured by an individual in the UK. First to pull the car.
First kickboxer.
First kickboxer to pull a car with his testicles.
As I'm discovering as I Google, there are other people that have done that.
What other categories?
Well, just a painter.
A painter, first painter.
Okay, yes. Now, I'm waiting for an ad to finish, but man pulls 7 cars with his testicles. Let's see if we got any.
Technically, he's not really pulling with his testicles. It's not like he's hooked them up to both of them. I mean, biologically speaking, it wouldn't be. He wouldn't. It's hooked to the rest of the stuff pulling the car. But okay,
I mean, the strap is there. But yes, technically his legs are doing the work. Although the elasticity, this is a Korean martial arts expert, so apparently it's big in the martial arts community. But he doesn't say anything worthwhile in English.
Okay, fine. There we go.
But he pulled 7 cars, not at once.
Well, I'm still trying to get in the Guinness World Book of Records. That could be one.
That's right. You got to beat 7.
First talk show host. They don't have a talk show host. First talk show host to pull a car. I would do it if there's nobody around. I don't want people looking at me.
Well, Guinness requires documentation.
I know, but just they get squint. I just don't want people looking like, just look at the car. You don't need to look at me. Just see if the car moves. How far do you have to pull it? Like a half a mile?
No, only a few feet.
All right. Sign me up for that, Andrew. I'm going to go practice outside in the parking lot while Lori does traffic, and we'll be right back.
We have a 3-mile backup from a collision that finally cleared the roadway southbound 167 at Ellingson, where that accident cleared, leaving you backed up actually in both directions of 167. Northbound 5 at Bridgeport, we still have the right lane blocked, backing you up to DuPont. Southbound I-5 slows pretty much from Michigan and Seattle all the way to State Route 16. Repairs to the 99 First South Bridge are going to continue through midnight tomorrow. Heading over the mountain passes, traction tires still advised on 90, and if you're heading over US 2, chains are required. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
This is Ricky Rubio, point guard for the Phoenix Suns.
And I'm Holly Robinson Peete, actor and along with Ricky, ambassador for Delivering Jobs. We know that a job is empowering and instills confidence. Yet 81% of adults with developmental differences don't have a paid job, even though companies that employ people with differences report better morale and higher productivity.
There are 6.5 million people in the U.S. with an intellectual or developmental difference such as autism.
And now, thanks to Autism Speaks, Best Buddies, the Holly Rod Foundation, and Special Olympics, there has never been more opportunity to improve hiring practices and build a more inclusive workforce. Join me, Ricky Rubio, and these amazing organizations in supporting and creating pathways to 1 million employment and leadership opportunities for this talented community.
Visit deliveringjobs.org to learn more.
That's deliveringjobs.org.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What do the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What they do? They give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are, as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals.
Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A suspect is dead after ramming a truck into Temple Israel in West Bloomfield, Michigan, in what the FBI says was a targeted act of violence against the Jewish community. Two law enforcement sources tell CBS News there were explosives in the vehicle and the suspect's body was badly burned, complicating identification. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard.
The head of security was taken to the hospital. He got knocked down by the car when it breached the building, and we've had 30 law enforcement officers taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation.
CBS's Scott McFarland.
More than 100 kids attend a school inside that synagogue. They were unhurt and safely escorted out as security repelled the attacker. The attacker was then killed. This happens as they beef up security around synagogues and communities big and small nationwide.
A shooting in which a gunman killed one person and wounded two others on the campus of Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia, this morning is being investigated as an act of terrorism. The FBI says the suspect who was killed had previously been imprisoned for several years for trying to support ISIS. FBI Special Agent in Charge Dominique Evans says of some ROTC students,
there were students that were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive. I don't know how else to say it, but they basically were able to terminate the threat.
Evans says the suspect was not shot. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel is crushing Iran and Hezbollah, but CBS's Matt Gutman in Tel Aviv says of Iran,
Analysts tell us that over the past 72 hours, they have really taken control over the narrative and the pace and the way that this war is being fought, essentially forcing the U.S. to either come to some sort of deal or pour even more resources into the Strait of Hormuz into the Persian Gulf in order to, quote, open it up.
The U.S. military says a plane has gone down in western Iraq. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The U.S. Central Command says it's aware of the loss of a KC-135 refueling aircraft. It says the incident occurred in friendly airspace during Operation Epic Fury, and rescue efforts are ongoing. 2 aircraft were involved in the incident, it says. The second landed safely. A statement says the incident was not due to hostile fire or friendly fire.
The city of Oakland, California, has celebrated their hometown hero and 2-time Olympic gold medalist Alyssa Liu with a downtown rally.
I want to thank y'all for the support and the love. I feel it. So thank you, guys.
Liu became the youngest women's champion in history at the age of 13. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
New numbers from the Downtown Seattle Association. More on that coming up. But first, it's Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
And a collision finally cleared 167 southbound at Ellingson, leaving a 3-mile backup. Northbound still a little slow as you head past the scene. Northbound 5 at Bridgeport, right lane a block backing you up to DuPont. We have a new stall maybe at Mercer Street. Southbound I-5, that looks like it's in the right lane. An hour, 16 minutes if you're heading Seattle to Everett. Seattle to Everett, Seattle to Federal Way is a 14-minute slowdown. If you're heading from Bellevue to Everett, it's an hour, and Bellevue to Federal Way just under an hour at 56 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Nate Connors. Well, today marks the end of the legislative session in Olympia. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports Governor Ferguson gives lawmakers high marks.
Ferguson points to bills that support affordable housing and infrastructure, roads and bridges as big wins. Also a bill that prevents ICE agents from wearing masks.
I think it's outrageous that we have ICE agents in unmarked cars who are masked, plucking people off our streets.
Also a bill that supports breaking away from federal health and vaccine guidelines.
So we can go our own way here in Washington State and make sure that people have advice from experts.
The biggest win for the governor, the millionaire's tax. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Ferguson wishes lawmakers did more to fund Washington State ferries. For the second straight year, downtown Seattle has surpassed pre-pandemic levels in terms of visitors. 15 million people came to downtown last year. John Scholes, president and CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association, spoke with KIRO 7.
We have seen a little bit of a plateau in the momentum around visitor growth, which has really kind of carried us out of the pandemic here in downtown, over these last several years. And we're not seeing a plateau when it comes to the employment situation. We're seeing a decline.
Nearly 13,000 downtown Seattle jobs were lost last year, and office vacancy was at 25%. The war in Iran continues to force gas prices up. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun has more.
In our state, the price went up another 2 cents overnight. According to AAA, the statewide average is $4.74. That is 30 cents higher than it was a week ago. Washingtonians have one of the highest gas taxes in the country, which is responsible for about 55 cents per gallon.
Well, it's snowing hard in the mountains right now, but Washington is still in a snow drought.
According to NOAA, in early March, most of the stations in the Cascades and Olympics reported less than 50% of the median snow water equivalent. But this week, we've been getting a lot of snow in the mountains and a lot of rain in the lowlands.
This is good news all around. So the people that are screaming about drought, they won't be able to scream quite as loud when this event is over.
University of Washington Atmospheric Sciences professor Cliff Mass tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM there will be more precipitation after this. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And with that, let's check out our weather. Rain sticks around through the evening into tomorrow. 35 overnight, which could bring a little rain-snow mix overnight. 42 for Friday's high, and it looks like we'll begin to clear out over the weekend. 46 with light rain in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Yes.
Thank you.
This will be informative. I'll write it down,
You
Joe.
play to win the game. Hello? Hello? You play to win the game. 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 You play
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Competitive.
Must be a car polo.
You imagine strapping a car to your testicles and then failing? Ooh. And people are like, oh, so close. So close.
Or getting an injury.
And then if you did get injured, people would have no sympathy for you.
No, none at all.
Like, what did you expect?
What if somebody didn't put it in neutral?
Yeah, that'd be an example. You would have no sympathy from your wife. Like, honey, you need a bag of peas and stuff. I told you not to do that. You're not going to be able to pull a car with that.
With those.
That. Diving into it. If you missed the earlier part of the show, we're still talking about it. Unfortunately, diving into it. I had a vasectomy, and then they're like, lay low for a couple of days. But I had Christmas lights to put up. So the next day, I'm like, I'll be fine. I fell off the ladder and landed on parts that had been worked on. I got no sympathy. She's like, even the kids are like, well, why'd you go on the ladder? I said, Christmas is coming. Just because I've been neutered. We got to get the Christmas lights out. You all saw that movie, didn't you?
They don't hang themselves.
We're all talking about the lights, aren't we? Okay, fine. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Boy, a lot of politics. Back into politics again. We got to get the people on that are able to talk to dead people, Joe, because that's going to put us in a much better mood.
Working on it.
Good. All right, so this is a leaked video from some fun friends that were following along as the Washington's Teachers Union. Remember how big they were? They wanted, we need to get the money from the people who aren't paying their fair share. They all went down there with their little scarves on and stuff because they know $20,000 per student's not enough. If they could get more money, then the grades will go up. Because it's really weird on an XY axis. If you look at it, it seems like the more money you pay, the worse the test scores are getting. But I guess at a certain point, then they're going to bump back up again. So this is leaked video from teachers' unions meeting with leaders, coaching them what they're supposed to say in order to push the pro-income tax agenda. Now, hang on there. I got it. Don't you do anything, Andrew. Just you don't worry about your head about it.
Pay their fair share after many years of essentially getting off scot-free.
Yeah, so they got to pay their fair share after essentially getting off scot-free for all those years.
In Washington State. So the best thing that we can do is continue to just really drive home our messages. There's a lot of data that's very clear that supports how little millionaires and billionaires pay in this state relative to low-income and working families. And we know that when we share that information with legislators, when we share that information with the public, they come along with us.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, that's true as far as in the state of Washington is concerned. If somebody's making more than $1 million, they pay a hell of a lot to the federal government unless they get a bunch of write-offs. But the way the state is set up with the Constitution, they don't get taxed. There's no state income tax. I think we're about 9 states. Is that how many states now still have no income tax? I think that's what it is. Somewhere in there. Anyway, so then the leader reminds the members that they are trusted messengers. And their message needs to be clear.
Thanks, Jared. It's a reminder that educators, when we tell our stories, we are trusted messengers. There's a national narrative out there, but we know that you all, our members, are trusted messengers. So thank you all for having those conversations and sharing your stories. There's a question that came in the Q&A. What's our organizational response to the deficit? Are we explicitly saying as a union we're going to tax billionaires so social services are no longer cut? The ultra-rich, call them billionaires, call them the ultra-rich. But yes, we have a regressive structure. As Jared mentioned, I believe earlier, we're the second most regressive. Only Florida is more regressive than Washington. So ultimately, we can cobble around the edges of budgets, but if we're going to see a real change in the way that education is funding, we know the needs are great, and the revenue is not there to support it.
That's right. We spend almost $20,000 per kid, and about half are reading at grade level, half are doing math at grade level. We have dropped from, I think we were 7th in the country. We're down, I don't know what the number is now, but we're like a rock. We're falling. So apparently, Just they don't have enough money. So what they're asking for, this is the union guy saying, listen, tell them to tax the rich, call them ultra rich, tell them they don't deserve it, and go out there because you're a trusted member and let them know, the kids are going to suffer. The kids, it's all for the kids. The kids are going to suffer. The ultra rich to fill the reservoirs. Oh, here we go.
We have the 50th lowest reserves of any state in the country. We are 50 out of 50 states when it comes to reserves. So it's not as though money is somehow swirled away. We need to raise new revenue. It can't be on the shoulders of working families and small business owners. We need to, in order to right this, we need to get the ultra-rich to pay their fair share. And as you saw on that legislative agenda, that's a long list. There's a lot there. And we're providing an opportunity with that agenda for educators in a variety of spaces. Tell their stories and remind legislators that we need the revenue to be able to have the world-class educational system that our students deserve.
More money equals better grades. More money, better grades. Come on, comrade. Screw the rich. They don't deserve it. If we had more money, kids would get better grades. The freedom. I'm sorry. Oh, that's Braveheart. All right. Thank you for that, Andrew. So that was behind the scenes, secret behind the stuff. It's not, that's no secret. Everybody said that when doing that or testify. The kids are going to suffer. The kids are going to suffer. Tax the rich people. They don't deserve it. Tax the ultra rich, the billionaires. They don't deserve it. We got to get the money. If we had more money, we'd get better grades. What's happened? Because Washington State was doing pretty well. I forget the number where they were prior to COVID. And where they are now. I'll say this. My aunt was a teacher for 36 years. And I've talked to a lot of teachers, and I have friends that are teachers. And they'll tell you, they're like, look, we can only do so much in the classroom. If we're not getting the support at home, forget about it. We can get in there, but if the kid doesn't sit still and the kid doesn't listen and the kid wants to run around and they're not learning how to have self-control or being respectful of authority at home, then we can't fix those social problems. I get that 100%. I remember when in Washington, D.C., I was working there, they decided, Ray's, I think her name was, she decided she was going to take over the Washington School District, and she was going to have a big, big night where she wanted all the parents to come for the teacher-parent night. And they had buses. They said, bring your kids. We're going to have babysitters in all the gymnasiums. We're going to have dinner for everybody. And we want you to come. We have no excuse for not every parent to be there. We want you to meet your teacher. We want the teacher to meet you. We want to find out more about your kid. And they set this entire thing, and they had school buses run at night, spent all this money. They had lunches, had dinners and babysitters, and hardly anybody showed up. And I remember talking to somebody that was part of the organizations that were trying to get that thing done. And they said, there's the big problem. If the parent doesn't care about education, the kid doesn't care. And there's no way that teacher can make that kid care, because you can assign all the work you want and the kid can put it in the book bag or whatever. If they don't bring it home, or if the parent doesn't ask, there's the break, right? That's where the parent, the teacher, and the student all are failed. But it's primarily coming from a household that does not find education to be a necessary benefit to the ability of that kid to be able to succeed in life. And again, teachers can't fix that. There's no way. There's nothing they can do. Because again, you can get the kid who's in the class, who's running around screaming and yelling. And if they can't discipline them, they can't send them down to the office, and the kid's disruptive in the class, it's very unfair to every kid in the class, including the teacher. So my problem is that I don't like the fact that the unions driving the money to the politicians to be able to have these things in place. There are other states that are doing well when it comes to schools. The one in particular is in Houston. I sent it to you, Joe, and they sent some folks down there, and they said, we will give you the eighth worst performing schools, and you can do whatever you want. You get in there, and you can just mix it up, tear it all apart, because they can't get any worse. Did we reach out to those guys? Do you remember?
Yep.
And?
Haven't heard back yet.
Okay. Doesn't mean they're not coming on.
Nope.
Right. And he went in there, the 2 or 3 people that were involved in the thing, they went in there and fired a whole bunch of people that just didn't care anymore. They just got completely burned out. And then tracked the kids. And those kids that were that were doing really well, they put them in with those kids. And the kids that were really struggling, moved them over here. And they didn't let, the troublemakers ruin it for everybody else. And every one of those schools, all 8 of them, I've seen remarkable increases. Now, of course, they were way down the bottom to begin with, but they're now performing at almost the same level as some of the other schools that were already doing well. But you got to shake up the whole system. But it primarily begins with the parent appreciating and understanding and respecting what an education can do for you. Because without that, everyone is left holding the bag. There's my little 3 minutes on teachers. What's wrong? What are you looking at me like that for? Ever since you've been in the rabbit hole, I don't know you anymore.
That's not true.
Well, it's a different side of you.
That's fair. I just put some sound in your queue.
Mm-hmm,
I think
as
you'll
they
find
say.
very interesting.
Okay. This is SB 6358, which would dissolve any business that spends. Oh, yeah.
Now meet Senate Bill 63.
Oh, just Charlie Harker?
358.
Yeah.
It was introduced just yesterday by Democratic Senator Bob Hasagawa of Tukwila, the Senate Majority Caucus Chair. It would strip any corporation, LLC, or nonprofit of its legal existence for spending money to oppose a ballot measure.
You mean First Amendment rights?
Not a fine. Your business is gone. Owners on the hook personally for every debt. It would cover businesses large and small, chambers of commerce, trade associations, any group that wanted to fund a campaign against a future income tax expansion, gone if they speak up. One exception. Labor unions are exempt. Unions can keep spending freely on campaigns and elections. Everyone else risks losing everything. Senator Hasagawa introduced this bill with 4 days left in the session, no committee hearing, no path to passage. Under the state constitution, it can't even move forward this year.
Yeah, but...
So why now?
Yeah.
The income tax debate is happening right now. Yeah. Any business or trade group thinking about funding an initiative campaign to fight back is paying close attention to everything coming out of Olympia. And into that moment, a member of Democratic leadership drops a bill that would dissolve organizations that do exactly that. Senator Hasagawa says he introduced it to start a conversation about big money in politics.
Is it a conversation?
And that's a real issue. There's a lot of money sloshing around in our elections, and most people agree that's a problem. But the bill exempts unions, so it's not really about getting money out of politics. It's about getting certain money out of politics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the senator wouldn't want to get rid of the $34,960 that he got from a PAC and the $18,900 and some dollars that he got from the unions. But that thing would be fought in court. I mean, come on. Because money is corrupting. Well, money is speech. And as they have already determined by the Supreme Court, you can't infringe upon somebody's speech. You can't limit the amount of money. But it is interesting that he knows, Senator's been in there long enough. Listen, he didn't get the deadline, right, but it does create just a little bit of concern. Because then you're like, oh, my God, are they going to come after me?
Right.
I better not say anything. I better not do anything.
Right. Starting a conversation.
It's conversation.
That's a mob tactic.
Hit that. Is that Russian band still hanging around? Bob Halagasa. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Let's see. Hit a starting balance of $58,485.98. Plus contributions of $83,701.18. All good money that he was able to use in order to run for office and win. The political action campaign, the committee that gave him $34,960. The unions got their bit too, giving him $18,950. Individuals, yes, those that believe the part of the party, they're $16,906. A lot of money coming in for him. Hey, Bob got $10,000 from the business and $2,775 miscellaneous. That is crazy. That is crazy. And it's Johnny Carson. It's wild and crazy stuff. That is really wild. Is Doc here? Doc is not here. That is wild. Again, just open it up for conversation.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Wild.
That'd be fun.
What is a Republican? Unions can give no money to anything. I mean, just flip it around the other way. That no union is allowed to give any money for any political, or the union is dissolved and goes away. Flip it around the other way. That is wild. Well, good for Charlie for finding that one. All right, here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Puyallup Subaru. State Route 524 at Larch Way. Look out for a collision partly blocking. South 5 at Mercer. That's a stalled bus in the right lane, slowing you down approaching the scene. The lower Spokane Street Bridge, that is closed right now because of some mechanical issues. Seattle to Everett, an hour, 16 minutes. And Seattle to Federal Way, a 14-minute slowdown. Bellevue to Everett, you're looking at an hour drive. Bellevue to Seattle, I-90 is 26 minutes. If you take 520, that's a 29-minute drive. And it looks like we're getting a little better now, southbound 167 after that collision at Ellingson finally cleared the roadway. Visit Subaru of Puyallup for friendly experts, transparent pricing, genuine care, and savings during the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st. SubaruofPuyallup.com. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
All right, if you have got a bad shoulder, meaning you got some joint pain in there, some elbow problems, which is affecting whether or not you play golf or tennis or anything else or just enjoy life, ankle, wrist, or knee, whatever it is, and you have thought about, God, this is really bad, but this is part of getting old. It clicks and it's all stuck and I can't play golf anymore. Are you living with it because you just think that's the way it's going to go? That was my story with my hip because I didn't want to get surgery. And I'll just give up running. Well, I'll try something else. It got worse and worse and worse. So then, like so many folks, more than 20,000, have gone to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. And they went there for a stem cell procedure. It was a 90-minute outpatient procedure. He's done more than 20,000 of them. He's got 30 years experience. And I can tell you right now, it was amazing. I walked in and I see all these jerseys of all these athletes. I'm like, ooh, I know I'm in a good spot. These guys really have a whole lot riding on their bodies. Dr. Wagner had looked at my MRI and my X-ray, and he had done other hips just like mine. And now, about 3-4 months, I'm running again. I feel great. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Stem cell, this is the guy to see. drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Nate Connors. For the first time ever, Washington has an income tax. Lawmakers gave final approval yesterday to a 9.9% tax on income over $1 million. The Washington Observer's Paul Query tells Seattle Morning News he noticed a substantial shift to the left among Democrats this session.
When I arrived here in 2001 to cover Olympia for the Associated Press, that kind of thing would have just been unthinkable. And even sort of mentioning it or filing a bill, to do something like that, would have been tantamount to political suicide in most parts of the state.
Governor Bob Ferguson says he'll sign the bill in the coming weeks. The Seahawks have used Washington's lack of an income tax as a recruiting tool, but GM John Schneider tells Wyman and Bob on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports, the millionaire tax will change that.
It's always been a huge attraction, especially competing with the California teams. It's been a big deal for us. So, it's going to sting.
He says all of the Seattle's pro sports teams will feel this. A man arrested for shooting 3 people, killing one of them at a Kent gas station in 2021, has been found guilty. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi reports.
This week, a jury convicted Joseph Burt Dixon of 1 count of first-degree murder and 2 counts of first-degree assault. In September of 2021, he went up to a car stopped at a Circle K gas station and opened fire. He shot Devin Hill in the head, killing him instantly. He wounded 2 other men in the car. One of them was a friend of his. They ran away. Dixon jumped in the car and took off with Hill's body still in the back seat. More than a week later, police caught up to Dixon, but he tried to ram cars, both police and civilian, to get away. Police shot him and took him into custody. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Dixon will be sentenced in April. It is dumping snow across our mountain passes, and that's great news for our ski resorts, except for Snoqualmie's ski areas, where they are dealing with a power outage this evening. That means the lifts aren't moving, and there's no estimated time to fix this, as winter conditions are hampering utility repairs. At 5:32, let's check in with Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
We have a lot of stuff going on right now. For 524 at Larchway, we have a collision partly blocking in Linwood. Southbound I-5 at Mercer, a stalled bus in the right lane. The lower Spokane Street Bridge is closed right now due to some mechanical issues. Seattle to Everett, an hour, 9 minutes. And Seattle to Federal Way, you're going to see a 14-minute slowdown. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 9 minutes. And Bellevue to Federal Way, that's under an hour, which is about 56 minutes heading across the lake. I-90 is going to be 26 minutes and 520, 29 minutes. A collision finally cleared southbound 167 at Ellingson. And you're still backed up, though, southbound 167 all the way past 516. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. A big difference from 24 hours ago here in the lowlands. Rain showers through the evening, but the wind has let up significantly. We could have a light snow rain mix overnight around Seattle with lows near freezing, and Friday's high will only reach the low 40s. 44, a little breezy and light rain in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Ba-dum-bum. Ba-dum. All right, you ready, Teeny? From the floor, Joe. She's getting no respect today. Teeny, spin that wheel, the Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe wheel. The names of all the players are on the board. Lori's on there as well, and so is Andrew and Joe's. The lights go round and round as a kaleidoscope of colors, and it lands on me. All right. I'm going to go through the book yesterday, because before it went to the printing press, I'm going to look up. I got it right here. This is Andrew's from yesterday. Scrambled egg. Crack eggs, put it in a pan, scramble them, eat them. They're good. That's scrambled egg from Andrew yesterday, so I'll put a little asterisk next to it, letting people know that's you can then see the addendum to my recipe.
I thought I was poached eggs yesterday. That's true?
Hold on then.
You have mistranscription there.
Oh, yeah. Drop 2 eggs in, poach them, and then eat them.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's it.
There we go. Let's fix that. Fix that before we go to the printer. Thanks so much to Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. Always freshest around when it comes to the best. It's Wilcox. All righty. Finally, this guy. Talk about not giving up. It was on one fateful day, Joe, where this man, do we have sound of him getting hit?
It's the story.
It's the story. When a 190-pound high school wrestler headbutted a Spokane Valley's Bob West while he was officiating a Colville wrestling match back in 1997. Colville wrestling match back in 1996. Woo. He knew it was the end of his 35-year career.
And you never touch a referee. They have to know if they cross that line that there's consequences.
The wrestling match between Colville and West Valley was for the Frontier League Championship. Colville's 17-year-old Chad Hildebrandt lost his 190-pound match and turned his aggression on referee Bob West.
Told I was out for 3 or 4 minutes.
Ooh.
Despite the video, Hildebrandt originally pled not guilty, but now he's admitting guilt to 4th-degree assault. Outside the court, he, his family, and his public defender won't comment. But the West family is talking.
He finally pled guilty and kind of owned up to everything, so I know that was a big relief for all of us.
And this referee with 20 years experience...
Wait, who was that said that? The mom?
No, it was Bob's wife.
Oh, Bob's wife, sorry.
All of us.
And this referee with 20 years experience...
I was about to jump all over the mom for yeah, no kidding. Big relief for all of you. Okay, so Bob's wife says big relief.
Says he has a message he wants everyone to see and hear.
Making kids accountable and saying, hey, this is not acceptable. I don't care if it is the 90s. You're going to be accountable for what you do. So let's get out there and, do the best you can, but do it with sportsmanship.
In Colville, Brett Bowers, News 4.
I like the way Bob at that time says, I know it's the 90s, but, let's get some control. Well, the guy, finally, after 30 years, he's been able to realize that Spokane Valley now has on the governor's desk the Senate Bill 5272, if you're following along, that how the vote went Senate voted 46-3. It passed the House 92-2. 2 members excluding. Okay. So what it is now is that if you assault a referee or an umpire, then you're in big trouble. That's what you should be. So they're going to move it up, I guess, to a misdemeanor. You're going to get fines up to $500, up to 6 months in jail or both. That probably won't happen. This is threatening a referee at school, sporting events. That's if the bill passes, and it passes so finally. By the way, he's had all sorts of medical problems for the longest time because of this sort of thing. And it's not uncommon. Remember the Seattle guy that went and pushed the 2 referees at the hockey match? The kids were 12 and 14 years old. The man was charged twice with misdemeanor assault. The prosecutor dropped the charges in favor of anger management classes and payment to the referee and community service. The father should be banned from ever attending any of those events again.
They will be under the new referee bill.
That's right, to protect these guys. Isn't it ridiculous that the police have to escort umpires off of the field or help them get out of a gymnasium without the crowd coming after them and wanting to, string them up? This is crazy. I talked to a guy, I had dinner with a guy that's been reffing for like 35 years, an umpire. I was asking about that sort of stuff. And he goes, got to hold a line on with these kids. They try to draw a line and, they turn around, look back at you and give you some lip or something. Because first thing I do is always call the coach over. And I give a warning. I don't like the language. I'm warning you right now. I will throw this kid out. It's up to you right now to adjust the behavior rather than me making the ultimate throw, which is out of the game. But he said, I asked him, and I was really kind of goading him on, thinking he was going to say yes. I said, has it gotten worse? It must have gotten worse. Has it gotten worse since you've been doing this since the 80s? Gosh, it's got to be worse. He goes, no, not really. It's like, darn it. Darn it, so close.
You should have asked him about the 90s.
Yeah, come on, it's the 90s now. Let's at least get some sort of decorum in place. The good news is this guy, Mr. West, finally has justice come to him. Where's that kid now? Did he learn his lesson after headbutting the referee after losing the match?
By the way, 190 pounds in wrestling, so he probably walks around at about 240. I mean, geez, he was a big kid.
What do you think? He's sweating out down from 240 to cut weight down to 190?
No, maybe not that much. But at least 210, 215.
Yes, he was he's also from Colville, so he's got old kind of Eastern Washington muscle on him.
I'm glad that you're happy for for Bob, but 30 years to get this bill passed, and the bill makes it a gross misdemeanor or a $500
I know.
fine.
When I got to that second page of the thing, I was thinking, oh, here we go, right?
Yeah,
tar and feather
Lock
them.
them up.
Lock them up. 15 years hard time. Doing Nicholsworth, as they say. 3 hots and a cot. Yeah, I got the first page. Okay, good. Looks just, got right in the head. He got hit in the head. Oh my gosh, he's still suffering problems and headaches, and he can't sleep well after 35 years. And okay, what are they going to do, these mothers? What are they going to do? Oh, $500. $500?
Up to $500 or, 6 months
That's
in jail.
not enough.
That's not. I can't believe it wasn't that already. I mean, he almost killed him.
Bob West, you've been working on this thing for 35 years. Couldn't you push for a little, tougher thing? Couldn't you really brought the screws to these kids? That would be much better. I reffed high school basketball or grade school basketball. My brother and I signed up because, $20 or something. And I was in high school. I was a senior. My brother was a junior. And my brother got sick that morning. I went into his room. I'm like, come on, Chuck, please. He goes, I can't have a horrible fever. I said, come on, please come. Because I can't do it on my own. No, you're going to be fine. I said, get out of bed. You ruined Disneyland the same way you hit sick and we couldn't go. Oh. He's like, please, let's just sleep, man. I swear to God. Chuck, come on. It's 3 hours. Just please, don't make me do it on my own. He's like, my only advice to you is just only call. I said, yes. Only call fouls on ball. Fouls on ball. Mom. It's like, okay. All right. I call fouls on ball. That's it. So I go in the gym, and one of the 2 coaches there, I went over, guys, I'm some pimply-nosed kid. I'm like, it's just to let you know, my brother's not going to be here, so it's just going to be one, just me. The kids were 7th and 8th grade or something. And the coach was like, you got it? I was like, Yeah, it's going to be fine. I'm pretty much just going to call fouls on ball. So a lot of the other stuff, just, cut me a break. Do you mind if I go pop a whitehead? And they're like, yeah, okay, fine. So it was going okay for the first, first half or something. But you can't see if all you're doing is watching the ball, so now I'm down the other end. I'm at the foul, past the foul line. So I'm like, just off to the side. I'm not counting 3 seconds in the key. I'm not doing any of that. I don't have time for that. Kids are living in there. They're setting up like a crock pot and an easy bake oven. They got a chair in there. And they're 3 seconds in the key. I'm like, watch the ball. Just watch the ball. That's all I got. So I'm watching, and I must have been down the baseline or something. Kid goes up for a shot. So I'm focused entirely on that. And all of a sudden you hear, whoa! Like the whole crowd screams. I turn around in slow motion, and almost every single player, other than the 2 or 3 guys who was down in the key or down the baseline, are on the ground. I don't know what it is. They look like they're like a piñata has opened up and a bunch of 8th graders have fallen out onto the floor. So I blow the whistle. I got no idea who to call. There was just one kid who was fouling people the entire game. Kind of a jerky kid, a little heavy set. Looks like he's like, if you were to touch him, he'd be kind of wet and cold at the same time. He's got the smudgy smashes, some red stuff in his face.
I can
right?
see him.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You know that kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went 2-1. Whatever they call the fouling, and the other coach just comes out of the chair, flies up into the ceiling like he's been possessed or something. He's screaming at me, and now we got to throw the ball in, got to inbound the ball right in front of him, and he's behind me. What the hell? Because I didn't realize when I called the foul on that kid, he fouled out. That was it for him. He's out of the game.
Was he responsible for all the kids?
No, he was on the ground. I didn't know who else to call.
Why did all the kids spontaneously fall?
I have no idea. It was like the Bermuda Triangle of high school gymnasiums.
Wow.
Just turned around, they're all just on the ground. I have no idea what happened. Still don't.
Is that the only game you ever ref?
Not the only game singly. And then my brother didn't make it, or somebody else. I was like, I'd sit there and wait and find out you're the only ref. I just leave. Nope. I'm not going to do that again. And then I turned to the guy behind me. He was screaming at me. I'm going to make it up to you. Don't worry, I'm going to make it up to you. Don't worry, I'm going to make it up to you.
No, you did.
Yes, I did.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and then once you do that, then they can't get into your head. Nope. I needed Bob West to fine one of these people $30. Okay, here's Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Lower Spokane Street Bridge is closed because of some mechanical issues. We're looking at an hour, 9-minute drive, Seattle to Everett, a 14-minute slowdown, Seattle to Federal Way. Bellevue to Everett, an hour and 9 minutes. And if you're heading from Bellevue to Federal Way, that's 56 minutes. Looking better, southbound 167 at Ellingson, where that collision cleared. Also, another one cleared north 5 at Bridgeport, where the right lane was blocked. And we are seeing a pretty big slowdown southbound I-5 from Michigan all the way to State Route 16. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. I know what it's like. You watch your hair begin to thin. Oh, boy. And then the crown disappears. Hair loss just to rob you of your identity. That's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair has got a simple one-day treatment, and they regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you. Because if you were like I was, say, 13, 14 years ago, you realize your hair is going away and it's not coming back, and then you have to decide, am I going to be okay being bald? Should I just get a collection of hats? How about a comb over? Let's face it, none of those things are anything you want. You just want your own hair back. And you can get it. You set up a free consultation, get $250 off your 250 free hair graft by calling 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait, because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. That's the second year in a row for those guys. 425-449-8185. Check them out online at advancedhair.com.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $36.99. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Ready to free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at AmazonBusiness.com.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
You didn't work hard to watch your retirement unravel. You saved, you sacrificed, you built something meaningful for yourself and for your family. Hi, I'm elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. I've seen what happens when unexpected health events collide with traditional retirement plans. Savings that took decades to build drains away faster than anyone expected. At LifePoint Law, we help you build a life plan to help you protect your assets and way of life. If you are retired or thinking about retiring, now is the time to double-check your retirement plan.
Attending a free seminar now can help prevent your entire life savings from being devastated. Some simple planning will ensure you don't run out of money. Seats are filling up and your family's future is too important to delay. Sign up now for the next seminar in Bellevue on the 12th, Federal Way on the 14th, and Everett on March 17th. Learn more at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And, you know, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment, how technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology. And that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
It's a great time to visit Subaru of Puyallup during the Subaru A Lot to Love event for extra savings through March 31st. Visit your stress-free dealership, SubaruofPuyallup.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Thank you, Sean. Hudson, what is he going to do? How many words? What are we going to do?
Very short, very short.
Hudson? Man, wow. Nice. Okay, thank you. We'll get a letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Joe.
Dennis in Seattle says, thank you, Lori, for saying T-Dome. And what's wrong with talking into a can? Is Aaron's name still on the board? Don't worry, I had to read that from this.
Okay, Rusty Shackelford is Dale synonym for King of the Hill. We found that out. Yes, thank you.
R.C. and Edmund says, I love the John Curley Show with Joe, Teeny, Nate, Andrew, Lori, and Rye. Sponsor songs for Buc-ee's have gotten better every week. I enjoyed the Rusty Shackelford reference and all the conspiracy theory flavored segments. Well done, everyone.
Wow. Okay, how about this one? Julie, the 253 says... Jason Shackelford on YouTube. My Uncle Rusty calling in was great.
Perfect. Mike in Portland says, regarding the Thai restaurant, 8 stars. That's not a spice level. That's a medical waiver.
Yeah.
Pretty sure if you just finish that, they give you your meal for free and name the ambulance right after you.
No, Lash would not do that. Julie, the 253 says, die rolling promotion is a good idea until someone has telekinesis and can make the die flip to 6. There you go.
See?
Isn't that, boy, oh boy, ruin it for everybody else.
Jamestown and Eastlake on John's Mike's sock. So nobody on staff is in charge of a safe way to sanitize these things. Also, the matcha intro was my favorite and still is my favorite, and I hope it will go down in the annals of history as being both delightfully hilarious and well played.
Mm-hmm. Somebody in charge. Boy, if people out there had any idea, usually with a lot of respect for us.
That's right.
Is if you had any. Don and Sidro Willie says, a nice beat, easy to dance to. I give it a 75.
Rachel C. says, let John know a little syncopation for the song will help with creativity over any song.
Okay, thank you. Braden Snohomish says, I wish I had half as much fun at work as you guys do. It's a shame. Really.
Mike in Portland said, at this point, Guinness's World Record application probably just asks, are you competing with humps or balls?
Lori 206, I'm waiting for the arms of the angels at the end of the hump pumping story.
Linda in the 253 says, I'm out in KIRO's parking lot waiting for John's demonstration.
Thank you, Lori. She's a big fan, by the way.
That's right.
Old man John, a new take on the Camel GT racing series. What's Smokin' Joe got to say about this? How about camel racing and camel gonads tied to a car? You people should be ashamed of yourselves.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Tina on the 425.
Thank you, Teeny. Sorry.
Right. Tina on the 425 says, what the heck have I dropped in on? I'm late for the show. We have a sad Joe, and John's going on about plump camel humps and a kickboxer towing polling cars with his walnuts.
We're trying to find something else other than like politics stuff. And during the commercial break, I said, Joe, we got anything else? She's like, I got a guy pulling a car with his scrotum. I'm like, let's do that.
That's all she wrote.
So let's make sure we get our staff to come in and sanitize everything. All righty. I said we do another hour.
Sure.
All right. Here comes Lori checking traffic, Lori.
Well, it looks like we still have an accident north 5 at Bridgeport in the right lane. A very heavy drive southbound I-5 from Federal Way all the way to 16. 16 slows into Gig Harbor. 167 now pretty slow from Kent all the way into Sumner. If you're heading across the Lake Bridges, Bellevue to Seattle, that's where you're going to see westbound is a little heavier. I-90, 28 minutes. 520 is a 32-minute drive. That's Bellevue to Seattle. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
High five. Up top.
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
For a limited time, now through March 29th. Switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. It's gray whale season in the Salish Sea when migrating gray whales make a pit stop in Puget Sound to feed before resuming their journey to Alaska. The team from Puget Sound Express report that there are 9 grays currently in the area, including some new unidentified grays that naturalists are eager to learn more about. Gray whales come to the area to feed on ghost shrimp and are the only bottom-feeding whale we know of, scooping up shrimp in the shallow waters near Whidbey Island. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed gray whale tours departing from Edmonds and Port Townsend to see these gentle giants. And although grays are the focus of the tours, Biggs orcas are also in the area. Puget Sound Express tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. They guarantee you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com. Schedule your tour today at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Mariners fans, the 2026 season is officially on deck. And Cal, Julio, and the defending AL West champs are ready to feed off your energy at T-Mobile Park. Be here for every monster home run.
There it is, number 60. The magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Every 100-mile-per-hour heater.
He throws it and the ball game's over. Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Every clutch moment.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
It's going to be an epic 50th season, and you won't want to miss it. Mariners baseball. Try to ends up.
Lock in your spot for the season with a Mariners Reserved membership. Get the best seats at the best prices for 20 games of the whole season. Plus amazing perks like guaranteed postseason access, year-round savings, and more. Memberships start under $500. Find your plan at mariners.com/26.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hartley Wilcox here. Do you know where your food comes from? If it's